Marlins, oddly enough, you and I called that they would beat the Nationals in spring training
I called
baseball.
that.
Yeah, I spoke for both of us on that. 4-1. So, hey, cha-ching, FAU, we had them winning. Of course, they won while we were on the show yesterday. Sugar Sean O'Malley. We predicted that he would win last night in Miami. No doubter, unanimous decision. Marlon Vera, sorry. We always predict that Max Verstappen is going to win, so I'm not even going to
Oh,
tell
wait,
you.
he won again?
Come on.
On my way to work,
You sound surprised.
on my way to work, I saw that the Hard Rock Stadium was getting ready for the F1 race.
Mhm.
They're starting to get the track put together.
Okay, you want to predict it now? Who's going to win?
Max Verstappen.
That's a brave one right there. So we're okay on that. I thought the Canes men's baseball team would lose, though. I did predict that. And they were down by 9 runs in the 6th inning. Another one we got right. Canes baseball team came back from 9 runs to win yesterday against Virginia. So I'm happy I was wrong about that, but that's our only blemish. Let's see if we can keep the good mojo going today. Of course, you already said you think Jordan Poole, Kyle Kuzma for the Wizards going to ball out. I think DeLon Wright's going to ball out. It's his former team. Not really.
Now, when I say ball out,
I
don't mean
20-something points.
They're going to win. They're going to
No.
put points up, but they're going to showcase for the ladies.
We got the Heat winning, though. Nonetheless.
Yeah.
Let's see if that happens. Inter Miami, a couple of question marks tonight. Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, questionable for tonight. Messi, of course, always getting older, a lot of minutes. Suarez got that old knee. I still think they're going to play. We'll look into that. But we got them beating Montreal also. So I'm thinking we're going to be all right. We're going to be okay. So no matter what, we're having a winning weekend. It's just how much of a winning weekend are we going to have? Keep that good mojo going. You got to go out there and beat the Wizards tonight. It's Sunday. You need the win. You've lost to 2 good teams over the past 2 games that you've played. If you're the Heat.
Yeah, if you lose tonight,
Wizards are bad. Real bad. I mean, they got nothing except for Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma, who are just worried about their stats. They're just worried about the stats. Nonetheless, okay. Messi, Suarez, you play tonight. You should handle Montreal, who's not the greatest team in the world. And we almost have a perfect weekend. Not bad. Not bad, Vlad. Not bad at all. See how it all goes. But so far, so good. We'll keep it going. Got a lot of highlights and headlines to get to. FAU.
Yeah, when we start off early like this, there's no really games going on right now.
Yeah, but we'll get you set. We'll set the table right now. The Panthers did dominate the Flames 5-1 yesterday. New addition Vladimir Tarasenko. Can't start much better than that. Well, you can, but who's asking for more? 2 goals, 1 assist. Unfortunately, Aaron Ekblad and Evan Rodriguez left the game early with lower body injuries. No updates have been given. That's hockey right there. Seems like they'll be okay. No worries. Cats, they do face the Stars. That's a big game. Tuesday, 8 o'clock in Big D. Stoked about that one right there. But nothing to worry about with the Panthers except you don't want them to win the President's Trophy. It's odd. Our biggest worry about the Panthers is that they're too successful. Not to sound like Eric Spoelstra, but success can be a problem in this league.
That's still the dumbest thing I've heard.
When he said it,
I get it, but it's
we
still.
might go find it. He even kind of paused when he said it. Like that might be my favorite quote from Eric Spoelstra. Success can be a problem in this league.
That's the problem that I want.
Maybe he was talking about the Panthers and the President's Trophy.
No, he was talking about he's talking about his team, and he's trying man, Spo, just be Spo. Don't be Riley. You know what I'm saying? Just be yourself.
Our biggest worry with the Panthers is that they're too good, at least during the regular season. Let's rein it in a little bit, just a little bit, and then get into the postseason and let it free. Let it fly, guys. Man, they're just loaded, man. And just to see Vladimir Tarasenko come in like that, brand new system, new everything, 2 goals, 1 assist. Man, we knew we had the Flames easy, but man, that easy, 5-1. We're not just beating teams; we're whooping them. That's what I like to see.
Relax. You also lost 2 on Thursday.
Yeah, but that's
calm
Philadelphia.
down.
That's Philadelphia.
Yeah, calm down.
How much did we beat the Rangers by? 5-4?
Yeah, you only beat. That's a goal. Like you were saying, you're beating teams. Okay, that yesterday was a beating, but let's relax. because they also they just came off a loss. Let's just
last second loss.
It doesn't matter. It's still a loss, and it's a loss to a team that's beaten you previously. So
try not to win the President's Trophy. That's all.
That's all you got to say. That's all. We don't got to add
it's professional sports. You're going to lose games. The last undefeated professional team in the major sports was the Miami Dolphins, 1972.
Yeah,
man, that's been a while. Hopefully, never again. Never again. I like that. I like the fact there's only one. There's only one. Thank you, David Tyree. What was his name? Tyree was the first name?
David Tyree.
David Tyree. Plaxico Burress caught that big touchdown pass.
Yeah, everybody gave Tyree. I'm like, well, Plaxico's the one that caught the game-winning touchdown.
Eli Manning also made it happen too. It wasn't just David Tyree, but give the baby its bottle.
It is. Yeah.
He had a rough go after all that. Kind of before that too. But nonetheless, Dolphins are working out a deal to get done to bring back cornerback Nick Needham and defensive back Elijah Campbell. Details on those deals have not been disclosed. I don't know if that really moves the needle for anybody, but okay, Nick Needham going to be back for another year.
I got a question for you because I know you're going through the headlines. I think you're probably going to drop this headline right now. Kansas City Chiefs seem to resign their all-pro, all-everything defensive tackle Chris Jones to a very, very
probably the biggest deal ever for a
lucrative deal. Probably, I think he might have surpassed Aaron Donald.
I think so.
Okay, so
that means Christian Wilkins tomorrow. Everything falls into place.
He's going to be the top defensive.
Oh, it's going to cost the Dolphins.
Maybe he might be the top defensive player available on the good board now. If Chris Jones is making that type of money now, I'm not saying Wilkins is Chris Jones, but he's definitely top 5 to me, top 6.
But it does adjust the market.
It adjusts the market.
Yep. See, the Dolphins, though, they said they're making it a priority that they are going to keep him. Let's see if they put their money where their mouth is.
Because here's my problem, right? If they do pay him and they pay him a good deal, what was the point of all of this? This procrastination. Like, you should have paid the man the money. That's one problem I have, Dan, is with front offices, is that if you like the player, you know the player, and he's produced, why put yourself in a predicament where you could have gotten a deal and paid the man early, and then now instead of waiting, he bet on himself and he's won. Now you're SOL.
They outthought that one right there. It's going to end up costing them a lot of money. But at what point do you say, if you're a Dolphins fan, are the Dolphins like, enough is enough? If he's sitting there and says, take it or leave it, this is what I want, and let's say it's just a ridiculous amount, are you willing to walk away from the table if you're a Dolphins fan? Like, if the Dolphins walk away, or do you stick to your line, which a lot of Dolphins fans have said, pay that man his money? There's got to be a breaking point. There's got to be a point where you say, no, sorry, no.
Well, if you're not going to pay that man his money, you better have something available. You better have something ready to back him up.
But there has to be enough is enough at some point. I mean, the Dolphins, they can't just keep paying and putting money on that credit card.
Yeah, but fam, you got to start paying the people you drafted as well, because you're paying the people that was picked and selected by other teams, and you pay them good money. And then your own, who's produced, who's been nothing but a pillar in the community, who's played almost every game.
I mean, pillar in the community. It's cool.
No, but you know what? It does. No, it does add. It does add to it, because you know why? If he wasn't such a great guy in the community, the fans wouldn't be asking.
Russell Wilson was a great guy in the community. That didn't help him not get cut.
Was he producing?
No.
Okay, then. But if you're a good guy, if you're a pillar in the community and you're producing, you're going to be loved.
That's just added. That's lanyard.
It's not like. Trust me, it is. You might think it's lanyard, but it's added to in the fan base. That's the thing. The fan base want their guys. The fan base draft a guy. One thing, fans will always love the guy that was there. They selected him because that's their own. They look at it like that's their child, or that's a family member. So when they grow, as the player grows, they grow with the player.
Okay.
Christian Wilkins for 5 years has grown with the Miami Dolphins fan base.
But when is enough enough?
What do you mean? What do you mean it's enough enough?
Did they say?
But they pay the other guys ridiculous amount of money. Why don't you pay your own?
That's a problem you have to bring up with the Dolphins, not with me.
That's the problem. That's what I'm asking you. Pay your own.
But now there might not be the money there because you spend it in all the other places.
That's on you.
I'm not.
Pay your own.
I'm not doing these
because
things.
Guess what happens when you don't pay your own? What are you going to find? You're going to find the Dollar Tree version of Christian Wilkins?
Yes, you will.
And
that's what you're going to have to do.
Dollar Tree version is not great. No disrespect to anybody at Dollar Tree, but,
I do love Dollar
Tree.
There's
name brands, and then there's, generic versions.
We know he's not going to the Kansas City Chiefs, though.
No, he's not going to the Chiefs, but Houston was always the number one.
Will there be a bidding war? Is another good question. If you're
But
Christian
why
Wilkins,
put yourself
why
in
not?
but then why put yourself in a bidding war? That's the problem with the Dolphins.
The Dolphins, they took the risk that this year they wanted to see something. They saw what they wanted to see. They should have just said, okay, you did what we asked you. Let's pay you. Instead, they've done all this hemming and hawing and dancing around. Now they have to try to figure out a way to pay Christian Wilkins.
Yeah, man. I tell you, Chris Jones, nobody was more happy for Chris Jones or his family than Christian Wilkins.
Of course.
Because he just set the market for him.
That's it. We'll see what happens. The Dolphins have said that they are going to make it a priority to keep him. We'll see what happens now. Nobody's that excited about Nick Needham or Elijah Campbell. They're more worried about Christian Wilkins.
No, the person they need is Christian Wilkins, not Nick Needham.
You don't think Nick Needham back for the year?
They don't Nick Needham.
Okay, they don't Nick Needham. Okay, I got some positivity for you.
Go ahead.
Sort of. 24/7 Sports Josh Pate names Miami as one of his sleeping giants in college football. He notes the history, the atmosphere, and Mario Cristobal's recruiting classes as the reason why. You know the other 3 teams he lists as sleeping giants in college football?
Who?
This is where it gets less exciting. Nebraska, Virginia Tech, and Tennessee.
That's not wrong.
I can see Tennessee.
I can see Tennessee.
I don't think Nebraska's ever getting back. I'll be honest with you.
Wait, who's their coach? They just got a new.
Doesn't matter. In this day and age, it's not happening.
Oh, Matt. What's that guy? The former Baylor coach that coached the Matt Rule. Yeah, that coached the Carolina.
I mean, I just don't see it, man. I don't know. I just think it's a different day and age. Back then, you could get people to go to the middle of nowhere, Lincoln, Nebraska, and play football. Nowadays, it's like with the NIL and everything, you can make the same amount of money, be in different places. I think NIL favors teams like Miami. I see Miami being a sleeping giant and coming back. Virginia Tech, okay. Tennessee, okay. Nebraska, that's a tough sell to an 18-year-old kid from California, from South Florida. Although a kid from South Florida is going to Nebraska, so we'll see. Canes baseball team, like I said, they overcame a 9-run deficit, trailing 12-3, heading into the 6th yesterday to defeat Virginia 16-12. It is the largest comeback for the team since 1992. JT Arteaga says he's been a part of a lot of games. This one was special. 1 o'clock today, game 3 of that series. Believe it or not, Canes go for the sweep of 13th ranked Virginia. Whew, that's how you start the ACC. Tyler Hero and Kevin Love are both out tonight for the Heat when they face the Wizards at 6. Tyler Hero not playing, facing the Wizards, 6 o'clock. You know that means a win for the Heat. Am I right?
Yo, it seems every year.
You just play better without Tyler Hero.
It seems every year, right? Towards the end of the season, heading to the postseason, they play better when he's not on the court.
And you got the Wizards. That kind of seems like a recipe for a win, right? Maybe.
I mean, this is a recipe for a blowout. Like, I don't think these guys should be playing no more than 30 minutes or less. And I don't think you should see Jimmy, Bam, or any of the starters in the 4th quarter.
With that being said, we're going to win by 1 point tonight, Vlad.
Absolutely, you know it's going to be a dogfight.
You have every reason to make this an easy, like, Sunday morning.
After 2 bad losses.
Afternoon.
I don't want to say bad losses. No, I don't want to say bad losses because
bad losses.
No, it's actually one of those, and I hate saying this because I don't think it's actually one of those losses where both losses you're looking like my team's not that. My team's close.
And the problem was also against Dallas. Remember, Jimmy didn't score in the last 4.5 minutes.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. The team was close. Like they had a double-digit lead. They were leading, but the 3rd quarter, Dallas did come out strong, but it was still a good game going to the 4th. And
once again, I thought about this the other night as I was taking my walk in North Beach, and I didn't stop by Bob's Your Uncle or on the Rocks. I kept walking, but I thought about this. We've asked this before, and I think the answer is still the same. If you're the Dallas Mavericks, looking back on it, would you prefer Kyrie Irving or Jalen Brunson?
I'm not knocking Kyrie.
I'm not knocking Kyrie. I think he's a great player too.
And I actually think they're actually getting their act together. But do you want
Jalen Brunson? Because
listen, I love
Jalen Brunson's good enough to be a 1.
I love Jalen Brunson, but I still will take Kyrie over Jalen.
You would?
Yeah.
You think Dallas, looking back, would have done the same thing? I don't know.
No, because they would have saved money. If Jalen Brunson, remember the Knicks got Jalen Brunson on a good deal.
Yeah. Well, at the time, people thought it was overpaid. In fact, he was not overpaid.
It's actually a steal. So
at the time, though, there was some question marks.
Well, no, but because they didn't think he was that guy.
Good. Yeah. He's pretty darn good. That'd be nice if, one night Luka's a little off. You got a guy that can be a number one like that? And I mean, Kyrie can, but I don't know. Marlins and the Astros, they got some spring training action going on right now. So keep an eye out on that. FAU's basketball team defeated Memphis 92-84 yesterday. Did you hear about this? Coach Dusty May, he might have signed that big contract, but he is being one of the 2 coaches considered for the Ohio State head coaching vacancy.
That's crazy. We'll see. If he has a great run in the tournament, he's gone.
That's so funny. Contracts aren't exactly set in stone. They're more of just, kind of trying to keep you there at the same time, maybe make you get paid your next job. It'd be interesting to see what Dusty May does if he does get, in fact, offered this Ohio State job. Speaking of basketball, Columbus defeated Oak Ridge 72-67 in overtime for their 3rd consecutive state championship in basketball and will most likely win the high school national championship as they were ranked number 1 going into the game yesterday. Carlos Boozer's kids on the team. Columbus.
Okay.
Want to show a little love to the high school
All right.
prep stars. South Florida known for its football, but basketball, hey. Forget you, Monteverde. UFC 299. Mount Verde, whatever. Ben Simmons. UFC 299 it took place in Miami last night. Main event.
Sold out.
Sean O'Malley defeated Marlon Vera by unanimous decision. Then, of course, Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Whenever I say Grand Prix, you should just say one name.
Max Verstappen.
Very nice. Right now, let's step into the day spa. A man has uninvited a friend to his Oscar party tonight after the friend recently broke one of his very expensive bottles of whiskey and refused to replace it.
Yeah. That's a good reason. Nah, man, you got to replace that.
And if you don't have the money to replace it, you don't have the money to come to this party.
You got to do something. You
don't have the money to come to this party either.
Nah, you got to pay that back. You got to pay that
back. Yeah,
man.
You can't be breaking an expensive bottle of whiskey and not repaying it.
Do something.
That's a dirty move, though. Like,
that's nasty.
I'm trying to think of
he's
like
real nasty for doing
a real expensive bottle of whiskey, and then you come back like, I got you, man. You come back with like a 5th of Jack Daniels. That doesn't cut it, man. That doesn't cut it. It's not how things work.
Don't work like that. You gotta replace that bottle that was broken, man.
Ugh. Today, a very famous day in Miami sports history. It is an anniversary of that day. We are going to talk about it next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM. Got what you going. Whew. Back from Arizona, trying to get my bearings and everything that's going on here. Had a good night last night in sports, especially here in South Florida. Sold out UFC. Not to mention, we had a lot of good action with the Panthers.
Nah, that UFC fight was good, man. Those fights, that Dustin Poirier, that was a great knockout. Sugar Sean, he did his thing.
Absolutely,
he did his thing. That was a good, yeah. He might be the best bantamweight I've seen in a long time. But you know what's funny about that fight, though, Cousin?
Mm-hmm.
It was basically a boxing match. Like, there was no wrestling, no takedowns, nothing. It was just basically, and I'm like, well, if this is what it is, UFC's just turned into boxing.
Yeah, it's all about striking now.
It's all about striking. Nobody's going for chokeholds. Nobody's going for submissions. None of that. I didn't see anybody attempt. I didn't see anybody defend, block any of these takedown because there was no takedown. Nobody went for that. But
do people still like the grappling? I think striking is just one of those things.
Striking is great. It's one of those things. But I'm here if I'm watching MMA, I'm here to watch mixed martial arts. I'm not. If I wanted to watch boxing, I would have just watched boxing.
Right. And I like boxing a lot.
And I love boxing. I saw boxing the day before with the Joshua Nagano fight. I wanted it. Like, hey, listen, I'm weird like that. I like to see somebody take somebody's body part and put it in positions that you've never seen it before, and want to see how tough is this mofo from before tapping.
Yeah. I like to see a little strategy there.
Right. I like to see a little strategy. I like to see, you know what? Ground and pound. Ground and pound is good. You got the guy in the ground. You kind of like have him like in a wrestling move, but you're just giving him forearms and elbows.
If you're kind of a hardcore UFC fan or MMA fan, you kind of want to see a little bit of that.
I want to see a little bit of everything.
It's like being a huge baseball fan or a huge football fan. The little nuances and maybe some of the stuff that doesn't excite the casual fan does excite you. So I can totally understand that.
But a great night at Kaseya Center. It was sold out, and it should be sold out tonight. And on our way to break, you were telling us about another great moment at the Kaseya Center.
Let's not live in the now. Let's live in the past. Today, the 50th anniversary of a very special day. Our very own Jason Jackson, who's going to be on the call of the Heat game, caught up with Dwayne Wade to talk about that moment that happened exactly pretty much 15 years ago.
Game winner at home in Chicago. This is my house. Against the Bulls, my hometown team. I mean, I couldn't script that any better.
Wade with a steal, with two. Wade puts it up for the win. Yeah, he did it.
It was so good. And then you can even see, like, my run pattern changed because I was like, oh, wait, this. I dreamed of this. Let me go.
So it came to you. As it was organic, you also were thinking back.
Oh, yeah. Like, if you go back, I fall off UD Bigfoot, and I get up, and I'm about to run, just run around the arena, and I was like, let me go this way, because this is what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to jump up.
Did you see the Arisons right there? Did you realize?
No, I didn't realize
team ownership was right there?
No, not when I ran. It was. And then when I see the video and I see the picture, I see Nick. I see Nick like doing that. And, it was it was a great moment. And so to me, that's my number one probably moment.
Is it the greatest moment? Just moment in Heat history? Now, you've won the championships. I know the first championship, you can't ever get that high again. You won the big three championships. You have LeBron saying he's taking his talents to South Beach. But just in the moment, is that the biggest, in the moment for the Miami Heat as a Miami Heat fan? Is there anything bigger than that? I know winning a championship, but you win the championship. It's not like if you hit a buzzer beater to win the championship, that's like, whoa, what a moment. That right there, though, in that moment, wow. One of the great moments in basketball history, not just Miami Heat history. But
relax.
I think it is.
Relax.
Exciting.
It's exciting, but it's one of many exciting game winners. This is definitely an exciting moment in Miami Heat history because
it's an iconic moment.
An iconic moment in Heat history.
Iconic moment in Heat history. And we're guessing that the statue possibly could be a statue of him standing up there going, "This is my house." Iconic right there. What are some of the other great iconic moments in Miami sports history? You never forget about the walk-off that the Marlins had in 1997 against the Cleveland Indians in the World Series. That is an iconic sports moment of all time.
Listen, the number one iconic moment in sports South Florida history is Ray Allen's three-pointer. That's it.
Ray Allen's 3-pointer.
That's
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So
That's
we
it.
have surpassed This Is My House. That is the
That's it.
greatest moment. Not only
Well, no, I think this was 15 years ago, right? So that was 09. Yeah. Ray Allen surpassed This Is My House.
that is the greatest moment probably in sports history in South Florida by far. Of course.
Whoa, relax. It's the second greatest.
Whoa, what are we doing now?
The undefeated season. You can't be perfection, baby.
I know, but we're talking about a moment. That's a whole season.
That Super Bowl when it was official.
When
They
it was
won
official,
it.
that was it.
That
That's
was
the
it.
highest of the high.
14-7. That was it.
Another great, at least touching moment when D. Gordon hit that home run following Jose Fernandez's passing away.
That definitely was a moment.
I'm almost about to cry right now. I actually did eat some vitamins yesterday that are caught up in here, but yeah, that's making me very emotional right there. Couple of the wide rights. That's some other.
I was about to say that.
Feels good that we got this on Florida State. Couple of wide rights.
The comeback against the Gators Memorial Day weekend. Was it? Yeah, that first game of the season. Brock Berlin. That was a moment.
How can you forget about the 1984 Orange Bowl National Championship? Two things from that game. Nebraska, of course, going for 2 and the Canes stopping them.
I always gave Osborne credit for that. He didn't have to. By the way,
he asked his players.
I give him credit for that because he could have gotten the tie. Like, management, college, the administration, Nebraska, they would have like, take the tie, we win. Nah, he wanted the legitimate, be like, we're undefeated, we're the best team. And I tell you this, if he did it now, he would have more people respect him more.
Because it's a different league now.
It's the games, all sports.
Although
played
Dan
differently.
Campbell going for it all the time. Although it wasn't for 2, but yeah.
Yeah, listen, that's going for it all the time. At that particular moment,
you go down on your sword. You go there and try to be a champion. He played for a championship.
He played for a
Give
championship.
him credit. It didn't work,
but
give him credit.
But that was a moment. That was definitely a moment in South Florida.
The other moment from that game was when, and you see it in the U, when Nebraska did the trick play and they scored, and the guys from the U were like, "We got you beat." Because if that's what it takes, if that's what you have to do to score on us, no worries.
And 1996, Panthers had some great moments during their Stanley Cup run.
I mean, just think about last year against the Hurricanes, that marathon of a game where Matthew Tkachuk walked off the ice.
How many overtimes was that? 4, 3?
It was something 5, maybe. It felt like 100. I was at Dovey's implantation till like 4:00 in the morning. It felt like
a triple overtime. Whew. And then they played overtime game in game 2. Like, it was Jesus.
It just kept going. We just kept winning.
But yeah, there's a lot of great. Come on, man. Over the last 20 seasons, 20 years, it's been great moments. And 25 years, there's 27.
And for everyone that's sitting there saying, "Oh no, but every city has that," not so much, man. Being from New Orleans, the only one I can really think of is the onside kick for the Saints in the Super Bowl at halftime, coming out of halftime. That's the iconic moment that you think about.
Yeah, South Florida. So for all this time that people called you not a sports market, not a sports town, your teams have shown that this is a sports town. You're one of the few, there's only a handful of cities that has all 4 sports.
Right.
You're one of them. You're a destination, even though the tourist board of Miami don't want people coming in now around this time. But hey, what are you gonna do? But you're a sports town. You got all 4 sports, and for the exception of one who have the best opportunity this year, every team has won a championship over the last 20. No, I'm sorry, Dolphins haven't won.
You've won
a title.
Titles.
You've won titles. You've won multiple titles.
I want to say this. I'll even throw this in, maybe a little lesser than, of course, This Is My House and all this stuff. How about Messi's first game against Cruz Azul? The goal at the last second, the free kick. That's a pretty iconic moment right there for a franchise that's only been around since 2020. And they have technically won a championship, but not a league championship.
Listen, I know for us, because we love the sport and we love the team, but I don't know if you ask any random person down the street. We step outside El Portal right now and ask, "Hey, do you remember Messi's goal against Cruz Azul?" No, they're not.
But for us, it is, and it is an iconic moment. This is my house.
Iconic is like somebody, like you mentioned it, the person's going to remember.
My house is more iconic in South Florida than other parts
definitely
of the country.
Because, everybody remembers that. Everybody remembers that celebration.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I think that's what the statue is gonna be when they erect the statue of Dwayne Wade outside of the Kaseya Center. What a 15 years ago today. I remember watching it on SportsCenter going, "Wow, it's pretty cool," against his hometown team, the Chicago Bulls. Really cool stuff, really fun
Yeah, but
stuff.
then is that better than what he did when he beat the Warriors? He did when he jumped on the
Oh, at the end of his career, his last season, when he kinda,
off
like,
the
flipped it up.
backboard when he came back, and yeah, he was doing the last D Wade tour.
That one's more iconic, though, the one, "This is my house." That's what everybody remembers.
I remember that one against the Warriors because
I
nobody expected you guys to beat the Warriors. That was during the Warriors prime, and that was a great, he hit it right off the backboard. But yeah, South Florida's had many iconic moments over the years and still continue doing that. We can't forget. Oh, I'll give you an iconic moment, bro. That I got to give Solana credit. He's absolutely right. This moment doesn't get the love that it should. It's the second greatest defensive play I've seen in NBA history. Bam's block of Jason Tatum
Oh, yeah,
in
in the
the
bubble.
bubble.
Yeah.
No, bro. That play doesn't get the proper, and I mean proper love that it deserves. That man's whole hand was going inside the rim, and all of a sudden you just saw it, boop, just returned it right back to sender. And that was a game, what was it, a game tying or game winning basket attempt by Tatum?
Yeah, it was towards the end of the game, almost
And
at the very end.
and bam, that was it. Once that block happened, game was over. That was a game saving block.
I
Bam.
wanna say, was that game 2 of the series? We went up 2-0 in that series? I wanna say that's what it
Yeah,
was.
I think
Or
it
maybe
might have been game 2. I think, yeah, because you won game 1 and they needed to win game 2. Yeah. Bam's block was great.
so many great
then
moments.
Jimmy's 56 last year in game 4.
So many great moments, man. Oh, all the teams just have so many great, but 15 years ago, "This is my house," one of the most iconic moments. There's been good, there's been bad. They're gonna
You
ride
ever
the
pulled
highs and lows.
you ever pulled that with your girl?
What, "This is my house?"
Yeah.
No, 'cause, it's her house, so that's why I'm homeless half the time, you know? That's how things
You had a
go.
good day, you put in the work, you jump on the bed and be like, "This is my house." No, you don't do that?
Nah,
All
man.
right.
Nah, I don't hit a lot of game winners,
Oh,
so
man. Kobe.
Oh, man. Let's go around the Twitter X world, the whole social media world next and find out what's trending here on 560 WQAM.
This album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was
Juicy,
called the police on when I was
juicy.
trying to
Always
make some
getting
money to feed my
juicy
daughter.
on social media. That's why we always take a look on Sundays around this time
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine
and kind of see what's trending. Of course, you know what's trending first and foremost right now, Vlad. Christian Wilkins. A lot of people want Christian Wilkins on their team. A lot of Dolphins fans want him staying right here. I see Vikings Nation. They say they want to sign Christian Wilkins. I see Raiders Nation right now saying we need a little bit of Christian Wilkins. Christian Wilkins being listed by Sleeper NFL as the number 2 free agent on the market. Kirk Cousins, Christian Wilkins, Daniil Hunter, LSU, Baker Mayfield, Leonard Williams, Russell Wilson, Calvin Ridley, Bruce Huff. Woo, a lot of people like Christian Wilkins. Where's he going to end up? Miami has promised us that he was going to stay here. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, Brian Flores, remember, he is the defensive coordinator over in Minnesota. So Christian Wilkins is kind of his guy. Some people theorizing that could be a reunion. Does that have
Philly?
any legs?
You think him going back to Philly?
Going to Philly?
Well, Fangs? There's a lot
That
of
could happen.
that
too,
could happen
yeah.
also.
He had a good season under.
No,
Vic
Howie. We
Fangio.
know Howie Roseman, the Philadelphia Eagles general manager. He's always looking to make big acquisitions. So, yeah.
So we were looking at Fins Extra at Fins Extra. It says at least 7 teams are expected to pursue defensive tackle Christian Wilkins once free agency begins. That is tomorrow, including the Vikings, Brian Flores, Texans. We know they're loaded and set for the future. And the Browns being the ones to watch beside the Dolphins.
Browns are making moves, man.
Browns, they're all in too. They're one of those now or never teams. They got beat by the Texans last year, though. Very interesting. Neil Driscoll, he tweets, there's no sense of talking about discounted deals for Christian Wilkins. His asking price was known over a year ago. It didn't go down after a brilliant 2023 campaign. He might not make as much as Chris Jones's extension with the Chiefs, but he will make more than Justin Matabuke in Baltimore. Also, Jones Matabuke signed. And now supply and demand, top-level defensive tackle available. Free agency. You said it, Vlad. The top-rated defensive tackle available in the free agency market. Like I said, a lot of people saying, number 2 free agent available behind Kirk Cousins. Quarterbacks are always rated so high, but yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. If you're the Dolphins, get it done sooner than later because I don't see the price going down at all. Do you?
No.
way.
Listen, there's a lot of people. That's why Monday's almost like tomorrow's almost like Christmas Eve. Tomorrow's Christmas.
Wild West.
Tomorrow's Christmas because once 11 a.m. hits and everybody is able to start talking to potential free agents, I'm not saying the word tampering because it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's like you said, the Wild West. It's gonna be every man for themselves. It's gonna be like the Royal Rumble, and there's certain players that are gonna establish the market. Chris Jones signing with the Kansas City Chiefs again established the market for the defensive tackles in free agency.
Yes,
I don't.
Chris
What's the
Jones.
deal? What's the deal? Is it like 32 million or something like that
Let's look at it right
for
now.
the Chris Jones? Because here's Wilkins. You got to think Wilkins is looking at the Quinnen Williams contract from last year with the Jets.
Hate to cut you off. There's another. I was wondering. I was like, do they mean Chris Jones is trending or Mac Jones is trending? Mac Jones
is trending because he got traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can only guess as a backup.
Absolutely.
Whoo.
That's nasty work. You know why that's nasty work? Both quarterbacks were in the same draft.
Absolutely.
Both quarterbacks. Obviously, Sunshine, and this is a big year for Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence. Because a lot of people think he's overrated right now after the last 2 years.
Okay, yeah, I don't know about that, but okay.
I don't know, but they, you know how it is when you've been named, you've been established
Right.
as the next great quarterback, and they want to see results. Big year for him.
So Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 overall pick.
Right. Number 2 was Zach Wilson. Then number 3 was
Oof.
Trey Lance. Then number
15.
No, number 11 was Justin Fields.
Right.
And then number 15 was Mac Jones. So
Whew.
not other than Trevor, because he took his team to a
Playoff
playoffs
win.
2 years ago and a playoff win. This has been that was a bad draft for quarterbacks.
We knew Mac Jones wasn't that good. We were fed that he is going to be the next Tom Brady, that Belichick knows what he's doing. We knew Mac Jones wasn't that good. Now he's going to back up, most likely, Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. Whew. That's bad news, man. Bad news. Wow, what a bad draft, too, by the way. And, I mean, the jury is still out on at least Justin Fields, I feel as though. And a lot of people, the jury's still out on Trevor Lawrence. But, man.
Oh, that when you get that notification, I mean, something.
What's going on? What's going on?
I don't know. Oh, well, what you just described.
Okay.
What you just described.
Finalizing a deal
for draft compensation. What are you going to get for him? Because
Fifth
that's
rounder.
good. No, this is good for me and my team, because if Mac Jones is getting traded, then that means we could trade Zach Wilson maybe to Denver for like a 5th or 6th rounder.
You'll take that right now.
I would take, man, I'll sell him for 2 sticks of Bazooka Joe.
That's what I was in the stands last year, or in the press box for the Dolphins game against the Jets. And I heard people going, Zach Wilson's still got a cannon. I go, what's the use if you don't have any pocket presence and you don't know when to get rid of the ball and you hold on to it forever? It's no use. What should be training is Chris Jones, all-pro defensive tackle.
I mean, they took care of
Chiefs.
that. They took care of that last night, and I it's credit. You got to give credit to Kansas City's. You got to give credit to their personnel, their executives, general manager.
5
because
years,
you know why? 5 years, what?
$95 million guaranteed.
$95 million guaranteed. So that's got to be. It's got to be a 5-year, $150 million
Something
contract.
around there, yeah.
Or 5 years, $140. But
$95 million guaranteed.
I get it, because you know what? They're going for history.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be the first franchise in NFL history to three-peat, to win 3 in a row, 3 Super Bowls in a row. And you got to do it with the guys that's been the nucleus.
I want to say this, too, not to, say too much bad stuff, but Kansas City Chiefs, head honchos took a little heat for trading off Tyreek Hill. They said, oh, you're not going to be the same. You're going to miss him. They always say, oh, they're missing Tyreek Hill. I don't know. They won 2 Super Bowls. They seem to be willing to keep who they want to keep.
Right. And I think they're about to make a move. They're not. They're
Get
smart. Brett Veach, I give him so much
Absolutely.
credit. You know what? The players may be upset with the conditions and the facilities, but they can't be upset with the way they get paid and wins.
That's the main thing right there.
Man, give me an F+ or F- for facilities and all of that. And, but if we're winning, there's nothing to complain about.
That's one of those things. Winning heals all wounds. Kansas City Chiefs, though, they seem like they kind of know what they're doing. And of course, you got Patrick Mahomes. That's a good job. Good job drafting him. Good job, Travis Kelce.
Well, they traded up. They made the move.
Yeah. And then this year, what you got to expect them to do in the draft is try to get one of these receivers.
They're going to get a receiver.
And they can get them on the cheap. And
then what's going to happen? Yeah.
You got
they're
another weapon.
Smart, bro.
They're
smart. As Patrick gets older, he's going to be, he's the man. Get youngers for that second wave, that second run at the of continuing this dynastic run, and they're being smart about it, because Kelsey's gonna retire. I think this upcoming year might be his last season.
Yeah, well, if they win it,
I think if they win it, he's
stick
done.
around. Oh, I think he might stick around. I think you stick around as long as there's winning.
Nah, Bree, you get that third one. You got
you're
4.
a vital piece.
You got 4, and if you still got TS as your girl, it's over, baby. I'm not playing no more football after 2025. After 2024.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's the Tom Brady thing. I'm not quitting until I lose.
Bro, he runs over the middle. He's about to get killed.
I like, just keep this good thing going as long as we got it. I don't know. We'll find out nonetheless.
But they're making the moves to continue this.
But they were much maligned for trading off Tyreek Hill. And every year you hear it, oh, with all these drop passes, they're missing a guy like Tyreek Hill. And in the postseason, they don't seem to be missing. They don't seem to be missing anybody. So, yeah, good move by them. Like I said, they're probably going to get a dynamic receiver in this draft. They should, whatever dynamic receiver is available. And now they get a receiver and another weapon for Patrick Mahomes on the cheap.
Watch out for Keon Coleman, the Florida State wide receiver.
Yeah, oh yeah, nice size too. Nice size.
And another guy that kind of killed I just saw it. People who won tickets for the Heat game on Wednesday. Don't worry, you'll get your tickets. The game is Wednesday. They haven't emailed them to you. You'll get it on Tuesday.
They'll get to it.
And I just lost my train of thought just now. That happens.
Yeah, so they're going to get a good receiver.
All right, that's right. Yes, there's a great wide receiver draft for the Kansas City Chiefs.
The guy from Florida State.
Guy from North Carolina, Walker, the one that had a lot of problems. And then the first game he came back was against the Miami Hurricanes, and he destroyed us in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a great group of receivers that will be available throughout the whole, not even the first round, just the whole draft.
Yep.
But give Kansas City credit. And these are the moves that you got to look at Chris Greer for the Dolphins to make. They signed Chris Jones. They went through that mess last year. Remember, he missed the first game. He was watching it in the suite. And then what happened? They signed that boy up quick. They realized after they lost 21-20 to Detroit, we better bring Chris Jones back.
Yeah, that first game they saw Travis Kelce didn't play. Got to get him back in there healthy. And then they saw without Chris Jones.
Don't do that.
They still barely lost to the Detroit Lions, who were a really good team last year.
Right. But they realized, and if to make sure we get that, we're holding that Lombardi trophy, we need everybody, all hands on deck. That's what the Dolphins got to do as well. I know you put yourself in a financial situation, but you need to get yourself out of that financial situation as well. Because what do we always hear? The NFL salary cap really doesn't exist.
No. It's just moving money around. And then it grew exponentially this offseason. So, yeah. It's all about where you put in place your money and where it goes. Only other thing that's really trending that's exciting right now, Man City in a Premier League is up on Liverpool 1-0. I don't know if you have a dog in that fight, but I'll pull for Man City.
I can't pull for Man City.
Okay.
I'm a U guy.
Oh, you're a U guy?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. Other than that, that's pretty much what's trending. Christian Wilkins, he's going to be trending for a while and have a feeling tomorrow.
11:15.
11:15, you could have more trending there. Coming up next, going to get you caught up with everything that's happening in the sports world and a whole lot more here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
Next WQAM on the Kendall Toy. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
It's time for Sports Day.
Beautiful day.
Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
As we mentioned earlier, successful weekend so far, for the most part, in the sports world of South Florida. We try to keep that good mojo going. We got a little matinee action coming up at 5 o'clock. Our Inter Miami Herons going to be facing Montreal. Montreal 1-1 on the season. We are 2-1 on the season. We actually lead the Eastern Conference in MLS, if that means anything early on in the season. Vladimir Lewisson going to be doing the game. We're actually going to have play-by-play announcer for Inter Miami, Phil Shane, on in the next segment. He's going to be coming back from a camping trip so he can get on out to Chase Stadium, which used to be called Drive Pink Stadium, to call the game with our dude Thomas Rongen. You know, we love him. Vlad's getting ready for that. Then you got the Heat in action at 6 o'clock right here on 560 WQAM. Inter Miami is going to be in our sister station, 790 Radio Libre, which is a pretty good, cool fit right there. If it's not going to be here on 560 WQAM, the Heat game will be right here at 560 WQAM. We're going to lead you up to 4:45 when Alejandro Solana going to be taking over for preheat. Then it's going to be Tommy Tighe with the pregame. Jason Jackson, Amy Audibert going to be on the call. Then postgame with Tommy Tighe and Alejandro Solana, and then post game, it's me drinking some of those delicious maple bacon coffee porters from Funky Buddha. Whoo, Vlad, I got into a few of them yesterday. Vlad's got the IPA if you're watching on YouTube and Twitch. I got into some of those maple bacon coffee porters, and you know I'm at Funky Buddha every Monday for trivia, and I drink, some of the different beers there. I hadn't had one in a while. Wow, the ones out of the can are unbelievable. The smell, the taste, the texture. I'm looking forward to going home tonight and drinking probably two of them because I got to be up early dealing with lawyers tomorrow morning here at the radio station. So I can't get too crazy.
Wait, what?
Recording commercials.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I was like, hey, yo.
I got to deal with lawyers. Don't worry.
Is there something I need to know?
No. They got some lawyers coming bright and early the next 2 days. I got to record some commercials.
Okay.
So I can't be getting too crazy on that.
I was about to say, I'm like, do I need to?
Although maybe tonight is the night to get crazy because I got legal representation.
Like, I don't know.
But man, those maple bacon coffee porters were unbelievable. And I'm not just saying that to say it because Funky Buddha sponsors the radio station. I'm saying it because it was absolutely. I mean, we can talk beer all day. I'll run down beer after beer after beer for you in South Florida and some of the favorite things that I like. But man, that maple bacon coffee porter, like I said, I'm looking forward to going tonight. You got an IPA that who knows when you're going to open that up. I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to say, do your thing, Vlad. But tonight's a night, man. Sit back, relax. If you have to work, maybe don't drink, but listen to the radio and enjoy the games. Enjoy us in the meantime. But if you're at home, listening, hanging out on the back porch, front porch, back patio, have a few beers, enjoy listening to the games and doing everything else. We should be good, man. So we're excited. Phil Shane probably going to be joining us in just a few minutes. He's texting me saying, yeah, it should be working. I want to ask him about a lot of things that are Miami because it's very easy, Vlad, to just kind of gloss over Inter Miami and say Messi, Suarez, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets, Tata Martino, good. But there's so much else going on. DeAndre Yedlin no longer with the team. He was on the U.S. national team when they were at the World Cup. Traded him to Cincinnati. Playing Montreal tonight. What can we expect? What if Messi? What if Suarez have to miss some time? What about Drake Callender? Is he having another stellar year in the net between the pipes? Other things to work on. Robert Taylor, what has been his ascent? Kind of giving you a little preview of what we're going to be talking to Phil Shane about. So should be interesting. I kind of want to get into the weeds of Inter Miami after we get to the big stuff. Of course, we're not going to just talk nitpicky little things. We're going to get to the big stuff, but we're also going to talk some of the finer points of Inter Miami because I feel as though what they're trying to build at Inter Miami is something that's going to last for a long time and make this a true, and this city really does have all the capability of being a big-time soccer town, international soccer town.
It should be.
It really should be. So Inter Miami, I mean, we've seen their growth so much over the past couple of years. And I mean, a large part of that is the Messi, the Suarez's and all that. But
it's the Messi.
But I think they have something sustainable. I think that now it is a destination for big time stars, maybe on the latter part of their career to come on over. Inter Miami might be a destination.
It might be.
I think that's what their goal is. Hopefully.
And it's also Saudi Arabia as well.
Well, yeah, that's tough to deal with that money. And they do have a salary cap in MLS, so that makes it a little tougher, but it's
Dude,
one
the
of those things.
Saudis about to take over.
I'm hoping that Antoine Griezmann, who's playing for Atletico Madrid, who is a French national, who's an unbelievable player, he says it's always been his plan to make it over to MLS towards the end of his career. So maybe he's the next big star that comes play for Inter Miami. I could definitely rock a Griezmann jersey. He's my favorite French player, even more than Mbappe, and I love Mbappe.
Oh, you see what they're doing Mbappe right now?
Yeah, they're benching Mbappe.
They're benching him in League
They're
One.
benching him in Ligue
League
1,
One, League 1.
but they're not benching him in
Champions League.
Yeah, they want to win that Champions League.
No,
so
you know why? They upset because he's leaving to go to Real.
He's going to go to Real Madrid for basically $14 billion. Maybe not that much, but close.
Yeah, all right.
It's going to be a lot.
13.9 billion.
Yeah, okay. He'll give him a hometown discount. I don't know what you call that. Did you give him a discount? Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Mbappe. I mean, and I know this sounds sacrilegious in South Florida. He does have the potential to be the greatest soccer player of all time when it's all said and done. If things go his way and all.
You and I know there wasn't a crazy flu bug that was going around.
He almost single-handedly won a World Cup for France. Good team, but they got really outplayed by Argentina. Not to take anything away from Messi and Argentina. Argentina seriously outplayed France. Messi alone almost carried that team to a win. If it weren't for a couple of plays
Mbappe.
Mbappe. I'm sorry, Mbappe. Messi did a great job too, but no, congratulations, Argentina, to getting that win. But Messi is something else to watch, man. I mean, Mbappe is something else to watch. I think he's led Ligue 1 in scoring the past 5 seasons. This season it's kind of up in the air because he's not playing that much. We'll see. One team that just keeps winning, and maybe the best team in the NHL. Hopefully, the best team in the NHL, but not points-wise, the best team in the NHL at the end. The Panthers, they dominated the Flames 5-1 yesterday. New addition, Vladimir Tarasenko, 2 goals, 1 assist. Boom. Aaron Ekblad and Evan Rodriguez did leave the game early with lower body injuries. You got to worry a little bit about Ekblad because remember, he missed some games earlier this season with a bad knee. We're hoping everything's going to be all right. No updates have been given. The Cats, they do face the Dallas Stars. That's a good challenge. Tuesday, 8 o'clock in Big D. Once again, as a Panthers fan, not really worried about anything. Life is good, Vlad. Life is good. I think life's going to be good until we get into the playoffs. And, those NHL playoffs are a little finicky, but still good. You got to be nervous no matter what, no matter how good you are. The playoffs always get you a little bit antsy.
Of course.
Because it's do or die.
That's it. You lose, you're out.
Yeah. You have a couple bad series or someone gets hurt or the other goaltender is standing on their head. But nonetheless, I'm happy with the Panthers. Like I said yesterday, if you give me the Panthers on the field, I'm crazy enough to take the Panthers. That's how much I believe in this team. Dolphins are working out deals to bring back cornerback Nick Needham and defensive back Elijah Campbell. Of course, details of the deal have not been disclosed. More people worried about Christian Wilkins. A lot of people saying now, not only the top defensive tackle in the free agency market, but also one of the top 3 free agents out there starting tomorrow when the legalities and the legal tampering or whatever you want to call it.
I'm not calling it legal negotiating.
Just straight up negotiating. I don't understand it.
I just don't get that, But I'm happy the new NFL calendar year has arrived.
It just never ends.
It is really 24/7. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Once the Super Bowl, we felt that week was nasty. They got to fix that.
Oh,
after the Super Bowl and then the NBA All-Star break happening back to I don't need that, bro. You got to fix that. That was a nasty week.
I was all over that week too. I was watching all types of what seemed like meaningless basketball games. And also kudos to Rick Pitino, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I called him out for calling out his St. John's team and saying what I thought were nasty words that were going to make his team quit on him. Shows how much I know about basketball. Shows how much he knows. Since he called out players individually and said it was the most unenjoyable coaching experience of his life, the team has not lost a game. Now, it's been a couple of weeks.
Hey, man. Maybe he told them and they weren't listening. So when he publicly scolded them, look what's happened now. And now they're on the bubble.
They're on the bubble. Like the last 4 in.
Yeah. If they do well in the Big East tournament, that'll be a great job by Rick Pitino. His coming back to St. John's. You know, he was outcasted for a while, and he came back and he got the Johnnies to the. If he gets the Johnnies to the tournament, that's a big accomplishment for Mr. Pitino.
Even bigger accomplishment if Coach Larinaga can get the Canes men's basketball
Nothing he
team
could do about
into
that,
the
bro.
tournament. They've
Nothing he
lost
could do.
9 in a row. They've lost 12 of the last 13. They lost to Florida State 83-75 yesterday. They are going to be a 14th seed heading into the ACC tournament. They're going to play 11th seed Boston College.
At what
That's gonna be
time?
Tuesday, 7 o'clock in the evening.
Ugh.
No team has ever won all 5 games of the ACC tournament. A team has won 4 to win the ACC tournament, but we don't even get that first round bye. We are going to be
No, you got to play. You got to win 5 games in a row.
got to win 5 games in a row, and you've lost 9 games in a row. So, on to good news. The baseball team, they overcame a 9-run deficit, trailing 12-3, heading into the 6th yesterday to defeat Virginia 16-2. It's the team's largest comeback since 1992. Game 3 of that series, where the Canes go for the sweep, has just started. We'll keep you posted on that. Tyler Hero and Kevin Love both out tonight for the Heat when they face the Wizards at 6 o'clock.
They don't need him.
Speaking of possibly being out, and we're going to ask Phil Shane in the next segment, Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez are questionable for Inter's game against Montreal at 5 o'clock today on our sister station, 790 Radio Libre. I would guess Leo, Messi, and Suarez will play. I don't know how many minutes. It just seems like they've been playing a lot of minutes lately, and those guys they got a lot of miles on them. Lots of miles on those guys. With international play and with their club play and everything else that they've done and exhibition play. But I do expect both those guys to be able to go. Luis Suarez always going to be dealing with his bad knees. Seems not to be bothering him. He scored 3 goals in the last 2 games. Lionel Messi, he's the flea. Can't stop him, man. Can't stop him. Marlins and Astros are underway. I know you're dying to get a Marlins update on spring baseball.
God, it's spring training baseball.
Spring training
I can't
baseball. Oh, it's about to start. It's about to start in Jupiter.
wait.
Okay.
Ooh.
I know. I was going to give you a score, Vlad. I know. You're checking, refreshing, but okay. Your FAU Owls basketball team, they defeated Memphis at 92-84 yesterday. You got to feel as though now South Florida did win the conference, but you got to feel as though it's FAU wins one game in the tournament, they're going to at least get an at-large bid if they don't win the tournament. You got to feel that way, right?
I would think so.
With what happened last year.
I'm not, I don't know very much if they are a given because they like to include those big name universities. Automatically your whatever conference you're in, you automatically get in if you
They're in they finished second in the
right, but they're
AAC.
but the team that won lost 1 game in that division.
South Florida lost 2. They lost the
they lost
game
last
of the year.
night.
Yep.
They lost yesterday.
But
so
they
lost
beat you. They beat
you.
But I mean, Florida
And they
Atlantic-
were ranked. So that's another thing. I think South Florida's gonna get in. I do assume that Florida Atlantic will get in, but they can't get knocked out in the first round of that tournament.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You figure with making it to the Final Four last year, with being ranked most of the season, finishing second in the American Athletic Conference, winning 1 game in that tournurnament, you should.
They're
be,
in. You know what?
and
then thinking back on their season, they're in because they beat Arizona.
Yep, that's a big win.
That's a big win.
And not from what I remember, no terrible losses. So
A couple bad.
you're gonna have a couple here and there, but yep.
But they're in. They should be in. I think they should be 2-3 teams from that conference getting into the tournament.
The only real question now is Dusty May. He's a finalist for the Ohio State job.
You know
We'll
what
see
that means? The more success he gets, the bigger the bag.
That means every year you're going to be hearing Dusty May's name if he doesn't go to Ohio State this year.
Bigger the bag.
UFC 299 sold out here in Miami last night. Main event saw Sean O'Malley defeat Marlon Vera. Vera in unanimous decision.
Cheeto. That's what I think.
Cheeto
Vera. O'Malley's his hand speed was ridiculous.
He's just a great fighter.
He was just ridiculous. He would hit Vera 5-6 times before Vera would even hit him one time. His angles, his length, he has his reach. Nah, Sugar Sean did his thing yesterday. They were saying it was a masterclass, and I have to agree with them. He never looked shook at all in the whole battle. Never looked shook at all in the whole battle.
Nah, he looked ready. He was ready.
And anytime Vera would actually initiate some offense, he would, defend, block, and then counter immediately.
Yep.
Boom, boom, boom. Hit him back and like, all right, if you really want to get into this, we can. And if you want to throw these hands, I'm better at you with the hands.
Yep. Just a better fighter last night.
Better fighter. Dustin Poirier, great fight. Great knockout. It was a good fight. It was a good night at the at Kaseya Center.
It's going to be another good night tonight, 6 o'clock. Miami Heat, Washington Wizards. It's always a good time taking a step into the day spa. Vlad, you'll like this one. A new bill in Ohio has been introduced to help pay for the retirement of drug dogs following the recreational legalization of marijuana. That's how I want my tax dollars spent. Helping the animals out so they don't have to do anything anymore. No need to sniff out weed anymore. It's legal. Taking care of the pups.
What happened to the pups? What if the pups were trained to be drug sniffing, and then what if most of the drugs are just passable? Like you don't need drug sniffing you don't need drug sniffing dogs anymore, like in Oregon.
Well, yeah.
No, you don't. Oregon.
No, I'm saying
right.
That's exactly what I explained to you just a second ago.
So what I'm saying, if you don't need them Oregon, what are these dogs?
They're retired now. So you give them a little something so they can have toys and water and maybe new owners.
They become just a regular dog.
They're just a regular dog. They're retired. You don't need weed sniffing dogs in recreational marijuana states, at least statewide. Federally, we're not getting into all that, but yeah. So you retire them. Make sure they get a little pension so they can enjoy the rest of their life as a dog. Just a regular old dog.
Don't say retired.
You retire the dog.
When you say when we mention the word retire in animals, it's usually they go into something like doggy heaven. That's not retiring them.
What else can I call it? They're relieved of their jobs
they're relieved of their duties. How about that? They're relieved of their duties and they're able to enjoy their life. No, I'm just saying retire. Every time I hear retire an animal, I'm just thinking,
man,
don't you?
No, when you say I destroyed the animal, that
no, you retire when you retire an animal. It sounds like you're about to give him his last rites.
Ooh, they had a retirement party at Duffy's Plantation the other night. It got
for a dog?
Crazy. No, for a guy.
Oh, I know.
It got pretty crazy, though. It's always crazy at Duffy's Plantation. 2-for-1 drinks. What are you going to do? Always gets crazy with Phil Shane. The man knows his soccer. Man knows his sports altogether. He's going to join us next here on 560 WQAM.
Poor dog.
on a hat trick. Messi chugging at the back post. Suarez looking for Messi. The header! Oh! 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 The first one was fortunate. The second one was golden. Suarez, the long cross, and Messi, the headed goal against the grain. Miami 5, Orlando nothing.
Ah, that sounds so good for so many reasons. 5-0 on rival Orlando. Inter Miami playing so great and hearing it all. Beautiful pipes of Phil Shane. And right now we are joined by Inter Miami play-by-play announcer Phil Shane. Phil, how are things going right now in this moment in your life?
Well, after the Nashville game, decided, you know what, hey, this is getting too easy. So I just took the 5-year-old camping.
I heard.
And we are on our way back and just about ready to drop him off and head to the stadium and see if they can make short work of Montreal. A lot of familiar faces on Montreal who have something to prove. And Messi a little bit banged up, but then again, I guess he lost something in the Suzanne Summers translation. He has legs of steel, so I would not be surprised if he's out there for 90 minutes again. But Tata Martino's had the magic touch, and this is a team in Inter Miami that has not lost yet.
How much trouble would they be in tonight if, let's say, both Messi and Suarez, who are questionable, are limited? Would they be in any trouble, or do they have enough firepower to get past Montreal, who's 1-1 on the season so far?
They're getting there, and I think if this was a little later in the season, I would feel a little bit more confident, but there's still a few question marks, especially since, for example, the guy that would have to step in for Suarez would be Leo Campana, and he missed the last game due to illness. Now, it didn't sound as though it was going to be anything serious, maybe just a stomach bug or something, so hopefully he'd be ready. They do have a youngster, local kid named Schneider Borgelin, who has a lot of height and a lot of potential. But when you're going from Luis Suarez, who is arguably the best forward in his generation, to a good kid who has a lot of potential from the neighborhood, that would be a little bit of a drop-off. And then again, I mean, anyone on earth would be a huge drop-off from Lionel Messi. So I think that there is talent enough to get a result against a Montreal that's in a bit of a transition. But I think it would be a lot easier, and I don't think I'm the only one that would say that, if they had both Messi and Suarez and a return to Alba. So I think that could also help.
Phil, has the players gotten used to the Messi effect? This is year 2. We were going over articles, and there you have the 25 most important games this year for MLS. Everything that's involving Inter Miami is high stakes. Has the team, the players, are they used to this now, or are they still getting used to it?
Well, there used to be, and Vlad, you might remember, back in his Barcelona days, they used to call it, what was it, Messi dependencia?
Right.
And it was like, when in danger, break glass. And Messi would find a way to save them. And he did that with PSG more often than not. And he has done it with Miami almost from the outset, especially in the early days with the Leagues Cup. Maybe a little tired, and maybe the roster was not as deep last year down the stretch, which is why they ended up missing the postseason, and why I think they've been so vigorous in shoring things up this season. For example, Joseph Martinez, who is one of the best scorers in MLS history, admittedly not the same since the injury, but they pretty much let him go for practically nothing to Montreal. And they have brought in the likes of Federico Redondo, Fernando's kid, and they're going to find a way to blend him in with Sergio Busquets. However, you're looking at playmakers, and the only player that was on this roster last year in this who had the closest comparison to Messi was Facundo Farias, who got hurt in the preseason and is out for the year. So someone's going to need to step up. I think Diego Gomez has proven this year, he's answered a lot of the questions that were left after last year. That's not necessarily his game, but he is more of a complete two-way player who can provide a little bit of that. But someone else is going to need to really step up, and I think it would probably have to be Tata, to change the system, the style, the formation to try and create chances, because Messi is one of those players that you're not going to replace one for one. Everyone else is going to have to take it up a notch. But again, this is a guy that plays 90 minutes. I think even if he was in a wheelchair, he'd find a way to get a goal and an assist. So
what everyone wants to ask, of course, Phil, is let's say we do stay healthy and nothing crazy happens. Do we have enough firepower with Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets, Leo Campana, Drake Callender? We know DeAndre Yedlin, he went to Cincinnati, but Robert Taylor. Do we have enough power if we're healthy and everything kind of, plays out the way we want it to? Do we have the chance to win what we'd call a treble or even the quad, where we could win a Leagues Cup, where we could win a U.S. Open, a U.S. Cup and Cup, where we could win MLS Cup, where we could win CONCACAF Champions Cup? Is that a possibility, or is that one of those things that's maybe just a little too much wishful thinking?
Well, don't forget to tack on next year's Club World Cup. So I think that this is a team that will compete in every competition that it is in. Now, they got a little bit of a benefit in the fact that they are not one of the 8 MLS teams that are going to be in the Open Cup this year. That was a bit controversial from the league, and I'm a huge fan of the Open Cup. I think it's one of the joys of soccer that no other sport really has, in the fact that the littlest corner team with a bunch of guys playing oddball games after late Saturday night could find their way eventually taking on a team like Messi. I think that's part of the romance of the game, but that's not there. And I don't think Tata really minds, considering the fact that there is the CONCACAF Champions Cup, there is the Leagues Cup again, which they're going to defend their crown, and there is MLS and hopefully the MLS playoffs. I mean, if they played every game, I think we figured it out. I think Joe Malfa did the calculations. It would be over 60 contests. Now, when you're talking about Suarez at 37, Messi at 36, Busquets at 35, Alba at 34, they're not going to play 61 games a year. Messi might try, but I think even he has kind of bowed to the realizations that there are going to be times where he needs to come off the bench or come off early or even just take it easy. And that really depends on Tata. So to see these guys play and start, say, 35 to 40 games in all of these competitions, understanding that at least at the outset, the MLS is not going to be the number one priority. They need to get through Nashville in the Champions Cup, and then whoever is beyond that could be Monterrey and then Tigres, et cetera, because they have really set their mind on getting to the Club World Cup. However, with that in mind, you have a Campana who has shown some potential and seems to already be a slightly different, more effective player, hanging around Suarez for a few months. You have all of the kids that have come up, and they might not be starting all of the time, but they are stepping in and finishing games and contributing to getting victories and points at the end. And then you also have some of these newcomers like Redondo who can step right in and show his class and maybe take a little bit of the pressure off of Busquets. So, yes, this is a team that can compete in all of the competitions. Will they win them all? That would be a big push and a stretch, not out of the realm of possibility, but I would not be surprised to see him come out with at least one title and perhaps even two.
Suarez joining the team. Phil, talk about that. I mean, the addition. I mean, obviously we've seen the goals that scored, but it just seems like he makes everybody else so much better and at ease. You see Messi just feels like he's got his partner in crime with him, and the team seems offensively they look really good. They look really good offensively.
Well, I mean, Vlad, you and I and Dan also we've taken a look at this team for the last few years, and the one thing that has been missing, even going back to Gonzalo Higuain, as good as he was, is a ruthless finisher. There are stories. I remember talking with Ray Hudson, Thomas Rongen, who will be joining me again today, about Gerd Muller. And if you remember way back in the Strikers days, but Gerd Muller coming over was huge. I mean, almost Messi-like to a point for the fans that knew what was going on in the game. And all of the players were really interested in what's this going to be like. And Muller goes out, and this is pretty much right where the stadium is now, or at least the training grounds, because they used to practice out on the old outfield where the Orioles and the baseball teams would practice. And everyone was just watching to see what he would do. And like the ball would roll and he kicked it and it went into the palm trees behind the goal. Another one over the fence, another one over. And they're going, what's this? This guy's supposed to be that good? And then he goes on the field, the whistle blows, and it's like every shot is on goal and the balls are rolling in. They're just game type players that can really step up. And I don't know if there has been a player who is Mr. Clutch. I mean, forget Mr. October and the straw that stirs the drink, those type of guys. I mean, Messi is the complete deal, 12 months, 24/7. This is a guy who, if he can walk, is going to try and find a way to get you the victory. And I think we have seen that over the last couple of seasons here in South Florida. And you listen to the players, while they are, I don't say surprised, mesmerized perhaps by what he is able to do, at the same point, they're enjoying the ride and they're contributing. They're not just sitting around and waiting for lightning to fall. I guess they're seeding the clouds a little bit. And this is a guy that has stepped up so many times already in the Inter Miami Pink and Black. And you talk to the other teams, you listen to the other players, listen to the other coaches, and you can talk about trying to prevent Messi from getting the ball. You can talk about maybe trying to take the ball away from Busquets, who tends to be the guy that would feed it towards a Messi. But then when clutch time comes, they find a way to get it done. And we saw that with Nashville in the first leg. Amazing performance by Schaffelberg and Nashville is coming out of the gate in the first and second half, and they still walk away dropping 2 points at home. So that's how good the team that the Mosses, that Beckham, that Chris Henderson has put together is. Can they keep it up for a full season in all of these different competitions? It's going to take a near perfect game plan, but they do have the capabilities. They do have the opportunity.
So one more thing with the MLS. Are teams in the MLS fearful? Do they fear Inter Miami? Because with all the pressure, especially on Messi and all the notoriety going to Inter Miami, and they being Dan said they are the favorite to win the MLS Cup this year. Are teams afraid of them? Is there word like, okay, when the Pink and Black are in town, obviously it's going to be watched, but are teams fear that Inter Miami is the team to beat in the MLS?
I don't know if I would call it fear, but what it is a respect. And there are certain things they might say in public, certain things they might say to the media, certain things they might talk about to other players around the league, and just the fact that Inter Miami is getting all the breaks. Inter Miami is bending the rules. Inter Miami, but yada, yada, yada. However, considering the fact they've been caught once with the whole Blas Matuidi affair, that they are being very careful. And also, I mean, they know, like Redondo, before he signed, a lot of teams would have him run out to practice even before the work permit and everything was done and just kind of look the other way. Inter Miami knows the teams probably have spies and drones and who knows whatever, any chance they can to try and turn them in. So they're keeping their nose clean. And I think when the whistle blows, more than envy, more than fear, I think they're actually getting a kick out of it too, though. I mean, it's amazing. And you think about like a Kramaski, you think about Noah Allen, kids that grew up here and are now getting a chance to play with the greatest player ever. There's something about playing against the greatest player ever and showing what you have. And you saw that, I think, a little bit with Nashville, how they came out. We saw it with Orlando and how they came out last year. But then again, the difference between last year and this year was a controversial, narrow victory to a 5-0 thrashing. So I don't think that there is necessarily fear yet. A few more 5-0s, that might change.
Yeah, but you are getting everybody's Super Bowl. You are their Super Bowl. You are their biggest game. You are circled on the calendar. You're not sneaking up on anybody. But real quick, Phil, I want to talk for you to talk to the fan that maybe is just now starting to become a soccer fan. Although you look at the CONCACAF Champions Cup game in Nashville the other night as a 2-2 draw, it's not really a draw for Inter Miami.
No, and again, when you're talking about this, the way most leagues around the world and cups work around the world in that situation. It's home and away, and it's not a 3-game series, 5-game series, 7-game series, anything like that. Although MLS has kind of taken a step back a bit in the first round of the playoffs, but it's home and away, and the better team gets the home leg in the second match. So the first team can throw its spear down, and then the second team knows what needs to be done and get it done at home. So what you have to do is a mix of chess and war games going on. I mean, how much do you push to try and get the result, or rather hold to 0, as was mentioned in the TV broadcast? Getting a road goal can be huge because a lot of these competitions, if you score away from home, that's one of the first tiebreakers, whoever has the most away goals. So seeing what that was, and seeing again how up and close Nashville was for getting a victory, scoring 4 minutes into the first half, and I think it was 2 minutes into the second half. And it was about 10 minutes left in the game, and all of a sudden Miami just flipped the switch. The danger for Inter Miami, sometimes you're going to try and flip that switch and the power's out. It doesn't happen often with Messi, and it really hasn't happened with him in a Miami uniform yet either. So you take a look at that 2-2 draw, kissing your sister. I mean, there's a few things I could probably say if there wasn't a 5-year-old listening, but in this regard, I think it was exactly what Miami would have liked. They probably would have been happy with a 2-1 loss, even though they don't want to lose, but to get that road goal, knowing that all they need is a victory at home. I think this is going to be a very interesting return leg this week, and hopefully we even get a chance to carry it on the QAM family here or there. But it's been an amazing start to the season. The one caution, we had a very good start last year, and then the wheels fell off. I kind of have a feeling they have a few spares this time around.
It feels that way tonight. Back to MLS action. Montreal coming to town. Chase Stadium. Phil Shane, our dude, Thomas Rungan going to be on the call. That's going to start at 5. Oh, kickoff is at 5 o'clock.
Pregame at 4:30.
4:30, 790 Radio Libre, our sister station. Phil, stop by every week. Let's talk some Inter Miami. And we're going to talk life too, not just camping and soccer. We'll talk about all types of other good stuff.
That sounds like a blast. Have fun, and I'll talk to you in a bit.
All right, Phil, have a good one.
That
Cheers.
is Miami play-by-play announcer Phil Shane. He is going to be on the call once again with Thomas Rungan. That is going to be 4:30, sister station 790.
I love
ticket.
it. I love when he was talking about Alba, Suarez, and Messi. I was like, hey, is this the new version of the Big Three?
It is. It is a new version of the Big Three.
Is it the old three?
Different parts of their career. Different parts of their career.
It's an old three, but they're really good.
I was going to get down into the weeds a little bit, but that's just kind of self-serving. For someone that might not be the hugest soccer fan or Inter Miami fan or just new to it, I don't want to overwhelm you and start talking about trades and international windows and all that other craziness.
We're only 4 games into the MLS.
I like that, Phil, and let you know that drawing 2-2 on the road is not really a draw because now you have 2 away goals, and if it were to be
that was big,
and if it's another draw,
no, you win because you have more away goals.
Yeah,
I like. Listen, the soccer rules are great. Soccer rules,
the rules and the way they play soccer to me is the most fair and honest way to play. You get a home and away. It's it. You got aggregates,
and because this is what I love. Because you're the road team, you're automatically an underdog. Like you're guaranteed an underdog. That's how they look at it because you're going away. And the fact is, in these type of tournaments or these type of competitions, if you're a road team that scores a goal, that's big. That's they are crediting you. They are giving you They're giving you more love because you scored an away goal, and they feel that because you're at home, you're the favorite, you should win. You have the crowd and everything. So you're on your own pitch. That if an away team scores a goal, it's a bigger thing than the home team winning.
Exactly.
I like that. I really do.
I kind of like the way Phil, and we talked to some other experts like Chris Whittingham and stuff like that. The expectation, Inter Miami win everything. They have the capability to, but
what he said,
realistically,
they're more concerned with the competitions that they are with the MLS season.
They want this CONCACAF Cup. That's
they want that.
Right
they want cups. They want titles
for clubs. That gets you World Cup clubs.
Right.
That gets you more prestige.
And that makes you more of an international brand.
And it makes you the best team in CONCACAF club-wise.
But you're playing against other other dominant soccer clubs around the world in these tournaments.
Yeah,
and then if
that's
you
gonna
win,
get messy if you have to play up against. Then,
well, you
pardon
have
the
Messi.
term. If you have
well,
to,
you
if
have Messi.
if you have to play a team like Man City or even Juventus, although Juventus is a little down this year.
I
or,
love to see Man City on commercial boulevard.
Oh my goodness gracious! Can you imagine PSG or Man
I
City?
love to see Real Madrid on
Real
commercial boulevard.
Madrid, Barcelona. I mean, although Barcelona has
Nah,
actually
listen.
been down there before.
Listen, they got to move those games to the Rock. I'm sorry, they
I
got to
can't
move
believe
that.
they haven't played a game at Hard Rock Stadium yet.
That is.
Maybe that next week.
I'm gonna ask Phil that. I'm gonna ask
happened?
Phil that.
Why has that not happened? Nonetheless, Inter Miami, MLS is going to take care of itself. It's a long season. There's going to be games where everybody's going to be missing because of international duty. There's going to be some rest. There's going to be some injuries. But nonetheless, things are very bright for Inter Miami. Let's get that dub. Let's get those 3 points tonight against Montreal CF, and let's get going. Of course, Nashville, they're coming to town for that second leg of the round of 16 for CONCACAF Champions Cup. We're going to get into that and more. Taking a quick break. Going to be right back after this. 560 WQAM. All right, 560 WQAM. This is Sports Day on a Sunday, and we've got a lot going on today. Inter Miami, we know, back in the mix tonight. Phil Shane giving us a breakdown. This Inter Miami team, the sky is the limit. They got the big four. I call them big four. If you want to throw in Tata Martina, big five. Tata Martina, the manager, the coach, has done a great job, man. He really has pushed all the right buttons with all the right players. It has been absolutely fantastic. Miami Heat tonight should be pretty pedestrian, should be able to take care of a Washington Wizards team that is not very good, but it's the NBA. You never know. We know that Tyler Hero and Kevin Love will not be playing in that game, so we're just going to have to wait and see what's going on with that. Right now, though, let's get into some headlines, kind of see what's going on in the world in general.
Already?
Okay.
I mean, we still got the next hour.
Still got the next hour. Okay. We don't have to do headlines.
Yeah, we do headlines at the top of the hour. We had a great conversation with Phil Shane, Inter Miami, 4:30 pregame, 5 p.m. on 790 Radio Libre.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was good. It was good. Are you excited for the fourth game of the MLS season?
As excited as I've ever been.
If you had a choice,
about-
let me ask you this. Choice. Wizards game or Inter Miami?
Inter Miami by far. Come on, man.
Wow.
Come on, man. No, it's all good. It's just the Wizards, man. They're not very good.
They just won.
They're gonna find a way to lose.
They
I
just
know.
won.
Well, I mean, they're going to find a way to lose, even if the Miami Heat don't play all that great. It's going to be one of those things where they're just got a 10-53 Wizards team coming to play 35-28 Miami Heat, albeit, of course, you do not have Kevin Love, you do not have Tyler Hero, but you do have Patty Mills, who was good in his first game for the Heat. Got to give him credit for that, man. Good stuff out there. The Miami Heat should be favored tonight at home as they play the Wizards. They are an 11-point favorite, Vlad. An 11-point favorite. That is
I know.
A lot of points in the NBA.
I know. I'm on the the Hard Rock app right now, laying wagers.
The Wizards' Landry Shamet
Uh-huh.
is questionable with a calf.
Ooh, okay. Even
Tyler
more.
Hero out. Caleb Martin is available. We know that Kevin Love not playing. So does Landry Shamet move the needle for you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because is that where the 11 points is coming in?
Now the line is 11.1.
The Heat lead the series 2-0 on the season.
Well, it's a division rival. If there's even any more divisions, it's not like you win a division title and you put that up in the banners and anything like that.
Yeah, the Heat won the division last year.
Yeah, with like a horrible record,
and they made it in as a 7 seed.
They were an 8 seed.
An 8
No. Were they 8 seed?
They were a home. They lost that first playing game, so they were a 7 or an 8.
Oh no, they lost the first play-in. Then they were the 8 seed. They were the 8 seed.
7 or 8 seeds.
They were the 8 seed because Milwaukee was number 1. They beat
9,
Milwaukee.
10.
Yeah. They were 8. They got to the NBA final as an 8.
So they lost to Atlanta. And
Lost
they
Atlanta,
barely
beat
the Bulls.
Chicago, and then went on their run.
Kyle Kuzma averaging 22.5 points this season.
That's good.
They just the Wizards snapped a 16-game losing streak.
And they went straight
by
to
beating the Charlotte Hornets.
Yes.
Another great team.
Another bad team. And the first thing they did was they went straight to South Beach.
Of course. But don't worry, Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole will ball out tonight. Jimmy Butler leads the team with 21.7 points per game.
Jimmy needs to score a little bit more.
He does need to score a little bit more. Now, he has been kind of in and out of the lineup, so maybe he hasn't found his rhythm yet.
21.7, though? Who's the second leading scorer?
Who's the second leading scorer? I would have to guess that it would be
Bam or
Adebayo.
Tyler, right?
Well, yeah. Tyler Hero has been in and out and everything else like that. So, man. Oh, nonetheless, I think this game, let's play it straight up. It'll be closer than you expect it to be, but towards the end of the third and early in the fourth, they're going to start getting up on and putting the Wizards down.
This should be a blowy. Third quarter, it's over.
Say that. You say that.
It's a blowout, bro.
Wizards are on a heater, as they say. They won one game.
Woo! 1 game. Stop the presses. Come on, man.
They're 1-16 in the last 17 games.
Oh man. Look, before
nothing easy in the NBA.
No, come on, man. Dude, have you seen the standings in both conferences? You know what 2-game losing streak can get you from 4 to 8.
In the West, it'll kill you.
In
man.
the East as well.
In the West, it's murder, man.
Bro, in the East as well, you got Orlando, New York, Philly, Miami, Indiana.
The Heat are currently, because of tiebreaker, in the 6th seed, basically tied with the 76ers. They're a half a game up on the Pacers.
So you guys are rooting for us tonight.
And then the Magic are a game and a half ahead of the Heat. And of course, we know we have the season series lead on them. We already beat the Magic. And then, I mean, the Knicks are only 2 games up on the Heat.
That's what I'm saying. A 2-game losing streak, you can go from 4 to 8.
And then in the West, it's wild. Well, there's a big jump between the Clippers at 4 and the Pelicans at 5. There's
No.
a
The first four are solidified, but from 5 to 10,
right,
anything can happen. A 2-game, 3-game losing streak, you're done. And Adam Silver's happy with this, bro.
I'm happy with it.
I don't know if he's too happy, but I'm not gonna lie to you. If you have a 9-10 matchup between the Lakers and the Warriors and a 7-8 matchup between the Suns and the Mavericks, you're loving life.
And let's remember, the Lakers came out of the play-in to make it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and the Heat came out of the play-in to make it all the way to the NBA Finals. So just get in.
All you gotta do is get in.
I like the C team.
Shout out to our boy Richie. He's at a tournament right now up north, and he's listening, and now all the fans are listening. So I want to give him a shout out.
Much love.
And the great Greg Anthony, former Knick great, former UNLV running broadcasting legend. Let me tell you this. That's my father's favorite TV commentator, basketball commentator. Greg Anthony's good, and I'm happy for GA. They try to do some nastiness with my boy back in the days, and he solidified and verified. Yeah, he got out of it with his name clean and everything. So shout out to GA, Greg Anthony, who's going to be doing the Knicks 76ers call for TNT on Tuesday. But they're at a basketball tournament. Richie's out there, Greg Anthony's out there. They're listening to us. So shout out to Sports Day, and shout out to Richie and everybody listening at the basketball tournament, and whoever, I'm supporting whoever team wins.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for rocking with us. Next hour, we're going to make it worth your while. It's going to be jam-packed with headlines, some nay or day, and something or nothing here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
It's time for Sports Day. Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
Got a busy hour for you. Like I said, we're going to get to headlines in just a minute, a little bit of nay and day and something or nothing. The breaking news, I guess, right now, Mac Jones. Who?
Mac Jones.
He is not the man in
Why
New
not?
England anymore.
He gone.
He gone. Got traded for probably a box of soap and some sponges to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's going to back up Trevor Lawrence. You have to feel as though
Sunshine.
it's taken that's a big hit right there. I don't want to say his career
Hey,
is
bro.
over, but it's not a good move.
No, it's a humbling move right there.
That is a humbling move. A guy that at some points, at least Patriot fans,
They thought they found their next guy to replace,
And some national pundits even said, hey, this guy is the next Tom Brady. Watch out. His rookie year, they made it to the playoffs. Everybody said, watch out. He's got it all. If you look at it, Alabama, he sat behind Tua, but when he played, they were hugely successful. He might have had a better year than Tua's last year at Alabama.
He did.
He might be a better quarterback
They won the title.
than Tua Tagovailoa.
I don't think about that. No, that's
Nope.
not true.
Never did we believe it here in South Florida that Mac Jones was the man, and now it's looking more and more like we were correct, and the national pundits and the New England Patriots were a little incorrect. When Bailey
In fairness,
when Bailey Zappi is coming for your crown, you got to start
fairness.
wondering.
In fairness, I will say that he regressed once what's his name left.
Bill Belichick? No, Bill Belichick was still there.
Josh McDaniel.
Okay.
And Josh McDaniel's a great offensive coordinator, but he's not a
Terrible
good-
head coach.
Terrible head coach. But yeah, you saw the difference. And one thing I give McCorkle credit, he was actually one who was questioning the play calling and some of the decisions that the Patriots coordinators were doing. And I think that was a problem. But if you realize, hey, this is not right or this is not going well, I have no problem with the quarterback questioning the staff. And I don't know if that was a problem. And now there's no Belichick, and it's a new regime in New England, a new regime. So they're getting rid of the past. And McCorkle was, even though he's 3 years as the quarterback,
Yeah.
it's part of the past.
I hate to sound like this because it does mean people lose their job or get traded and stuff like that. But, when you get a new regime, it's best to clean house and start over fresh. And I think that's what they're doing. Mac Jones, though, going to be a backup in Jacksonville, it's a little humbling. That's a little hurting. But nonetheless, that is what happened. That is exactly what happened. Let's get to the headlines real quick so we can get this jam-packed hour going. The Panthers, they dominated the Flames 5-1 yesterday. Vladimir Tarasenko, his first game.
My brother.
All he did, yeah, we got another Vlad. We always love the Vlads on this show. We love you, Vlad. We love Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We love
Vladimir Nunez.
Okay, yeah. When I started searching for other Vlads, I didn't want to go for the first one that came to my mind.
Which was Vladimir. Why do you hate Nunez?
I love Vladimir Nunez. Vladimir Tarasenko.
Oh, I know which one. Oh, the other guy. No, we're not talking about P.
2 goals, 1 assist for Tarasenko yesterday. Aaron Ekblad, though, did leave early. So did Evan Rodriguez. We have not gotten updates on either of them. I don't think you really have to worry about Evan Rodriguez so much, though. Aaron Ekblad did miss some games very early in the season. 3 games into the season, he started missing games because of that bad knee. So we're going to keep you updated on that. The Cats, they face the Stars Tuesday at 8 in Big D.
Oh, that's a good game.
In Big D. So,
By the way, sorry to interrupt. Sidebar.
you don't have to apologize. That's what
Dan, I told you this last week, Kuzan. I can't believe it, but women's college basketball is exciting.
I was watching the LSU game the other day. I was very excited.
I watched the LSU game last night. I watched the Tennessee South Carolina ending.
Clark just hit a step back fadeaway
and
three,
I'm watching this Ohio
down by
State,
1 in overtime.
I'm watching this Ohio State Iowa game right now, and I'm like, dude, this is more fun than the men's game.
It's wild. The men's college basketball game.
Yeah, I said the men's game. Yeah,
Although-
I didn't say that.
although
I didn't
I-
say the association.
Although I am riveted to this Austin P. Stetson game that is going on for the
yeah, it's 6-2 in the beginning.
It's the Atlantic Sun Championship, though.
Dude, this is a Big Ten title game in overtime. Women's basketball.
The ladies, man. Caitlin Clark, she did say the other day that it's a win-win, lose-lose for her when she graduates because she's going to go to the league. She might lose some money going to
No,
the
she
league.
ain't- no. It's a lose-lose situation for her. She's gonna lose so much more money that she's making right now in college.
Because she's getting the NIL plus the endorsements plus all this other
Right.
stuff.
They don't get paid very well in the
In the
WNBA.
WNBA, yeah.
That's why
She might have more eyes on her at Iowa
that's
too
why-
than when she
well,
goes to, let's say, the
I tell
Phoenix
you this,
Mercury.
low key. The Brittany Griner situation messed up a lot of things for the players because they were making so much money when they were also playing in Europe.
Right. And they're trying to have the secondary league here in Miami that's going to be in a
Right.
warehouse, which I don't see going
I'm
over
telling you
very
this,
well, to be honest
She
with
would
you.
have made so much money if she was like if she played for another team outside of the United States because of her just her presence right now. Just everybody just loves her right now, and she's the one. But Ohio State's, I love this. They're not letting Angel Reese and LSU because they get all the pub. These teams are not scared of these. I don't want to say super. You know what? They are superstars. These superstar college players. They're not afraid of the teams. They're not afraid of the coaches. They're not afraid of anything. I like this. This is some good competition. Kobe's so proud right now, smiling from heaven.
I do want to say this, that Breanna Stewart league that she's trying to start, I haven't heard much of it lately, but she's supposedly starting in a warehouse here in Miami somewhere for the offseason.
A warehouse?
Yeah. I don't see it being too successful. So I'm just being honest. And then people will say, well, why would you say that? Well, there's a lot of reasons why I would say that. It's an off-season WNBA league. It's like a 3-on-3 league. It's going to be interesting.
So wait, it's like the new it's like an ice cube. It's like the female version of the Ice Cube League.
Yeah,
the Big Three,
something like that. Yeah, but it's to keep players in the United States to still get paid during the off season. It's going to be a hard sell, just like the United Football League. I'll be honest, it's going to be a hard sell. I'm not into it. I got enough during the regular season of NFL football and college football. I don't need to go to watch the Birmingham, whatever they are, play each other. But speaking of NFL football, Dolphins, they're working out deals to bring back cornerback Nick Needham and defensive back Elijah Campbell. Details have not been disclosed. Canes basketball team, tough season so far. There's not a lot left, to be honest with you. They finished the regular season on a 9-game losing streak, and they lost to FSU. FSU sweeps the season series 83-75 yesterday. They're a 14 seed playing the 11 seed Boston College in the ACC tournament. That's Tuesday at 7. You lose that game, and this season is over. I'm stating the obvious.
It's over, bro.
If you don't win 5 games in a row, this season is over. If you win 4 games in a row and make it to the ACC championship,
Still over.
This season is
They got to win the tourney to get
You
it.
ain't going to the NIT even if you make it to the ACC championship game. I'm sorry. You're just not. It just hasn't been that year. Canes baseball team, though, overcame a 9-run deficit. They were trailing 12-3 heading into the 6th. They defeated 13th ranked Virginia 16-12. They go for the sweep. That game is currently happening over at Mark Light Field, Alex Rodriguez Park. Tyler Hero and Kevin Love out tonight. The Heat, they're going to face the Wizards at 6 o'clock. Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez. We talked to Phil Schoen. Those 2 guys are questionable. He said, even though they're questionable, they might play 90 minutes. That's soccer for you. I don't know about today. 95 minutes later. All right. So we hope Messi and Suarez play. Inter Miami, they're going to take on a Montreal. That is going to be at 5 o'clock. Pregame 4:30. Radio Libre 790. Just go to the Odyssey app. You can find it all. Marlins and Astros, they're playing a spring training game right now. Vlad, I think the Marlins are up 1-0. That's just my guess. Woohoo! I'm just guessing. They're up 1-0 in the 4th. What a guess. That's how much I know my Marlins. I know my girlfriend. We're good. We got to talk about the Marlins one of these days too. Maybe next weekend. Yeah. I've been saving my take for that one. Nonetheless, UFC 299 took place in Miami last night. Sold out Kaseya Center after Dana White kind of said some nasty things the last time one of the UFCs was here in Miami. Said the fan base wasn't exactly strong. It was strong last night.
Well, you know, if one thing I can say, if you know there's a UFC event in Miami, the ex-Prez will always be out there.
I did see
Big Orange was out here, man.
Our dude Zach Krantz posted some video of
Big Orange
walking around. We're talking about Donald Trump walking around the Kaseya Center floor for the UFC fights.
You know who was the happiest person to see him?
Dana White?
Well, besides Dana White.
Okay.
Nick Bosa.
Okay.
Nick Bosa was so thrilled to see him. Very thrilled.
Busy man.
Joe Burrow saw him, was like,
Busy man.
but yeah, big. You gotta like DT, man. DT's taking time out to go to sporting events instead of
Instead of going to the Supreme Court, federal court.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. That's life. That is the life that we are in right now. Gotta love it. What a time to be alive.
What a time. Were they playing the Village People over and over and over and over and over again?
I don't know. He had an entrance like he was one of the fighters.
Small potatoes, man. Small potatoes. Talking about the United Football League. Oh man.
Wait. You talking about the UFL? That's the
remember,
Rocks.
remember any? Yeah, but remember Donald Trump owned a team in
the USFL. Yes,
yeah.
he owned the New Jersey Generals. No, don't knock him.
But your knowledge of Big Orange is starting to.
Well, you gotta understand. I lived in New York when Big Orange was there. When he was starting his when he was making a name for himself. And then it all went left. Even though he went right. Because he was left and then he turned right. It's a whole bunch of stuff.
That Caitlin Clark. Look at that gal go.
Whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, yeah. It was a big event. 20,000 sold out the Kaseya Center.
Man.
Hopefully, and guess what? First time I seen an arena. First time in the Kaseya Center in history. People were actually in their seats by the time the event was official.
How much was the cheapest ticket? Because I was talking to someone
I
last
think it might
night.
have been $300.
I was going to say it's in the hundreds of dollars. Like no one's paying hundreds of dollars to sit in the upper deck. I'm like, oh yeah. I will say this, Vlad.
People will.
Give you my usual update on a Saturday, on a Sunday, what my Saturday night was like. You told you I didn't want to go to South Beach, nor did I want to go downtown, and really even Wynwood, because I figured there'd be just too much rollover from spring break and the UFC fight. I actually ended up at Wynwood, and it was actually kind of slow in Wynwood last night. So I'm guessing everybody was downtown for UFC or South Beach for spring break.
Yes. Well,
didn't stop me from spending $150 on a Mexican meal.
But it wasn't, wait, was it packed? Or wasn't packed?
No. I went early. I did go early. I left around 9.
Well, maybe that video and the fact that Miami don't want everybody anymore is maybe deterring people from coming, or they found a different spot.
Wynwood was not crazy last night.
And Wynwood usually on a Saturday night.
Yeah, and Bacan, which is kind of an overrated
and
Mexican
it was
restaurant.
Good weather. It
cost me $150 for Mexican food. Yeah.
If there's one thing we know about Dan Day,
I was a little upset.
He's gonna spend money.
No.
on food he doesn't like.
I was a little upset. Like
you always spend money that you don't like for food you don't like.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. $150 for Mexican food. Mm-hmm.
Somebody from the tweet 305 texted, I was at Twin Peaks and the place erupted in cheers when 4-5 walked in.
I thought I tiptoed around the whole Vladimir issue, and now we're just getting deeper and deeper.
What do you mean? He was there. Like we're acting like he wasn't at the event.
No. Just
he was at the event. I'm just telling you, they love him down here. They love him down here. And from the UFC events that I've seen, he's gone to many. The two that's been down here. So, nonetheless, it was a great event. I wonder if he's going to be at the Heat game tonight. I don't think so.
I'll get Alejandro Solana because Solana loves to post videos and clips and everything. I'm gonna just text Solana. Any celebrities in the house tonight? Post clips. That'll cover everything. Maybe Sugar Sean will be there.
Yeah, I wanted. Yeah, I definitely wanted to see because there was a couple of fighters that were here early this week when they played Detroit. There were a couple of fighters that went to the game, the Detroit game. So I want to see if there's gonna be fighters that stay.
Quick rule though. You go to the game if you win the fight. Like
you can't go if you
lose. You can't go. No go. Sorry, you lose the right to sit courtside.
I want to see you sitting courtside with sunglasses on because your eyes all puffed up.
And I respect you. I respect everybody that steps into the octagon and throws. But you win, you go to the Heat game. You lose, go home.
No, you go home.
Yeah,
go cry.
Look, when I lose a fight, I don't go around walking around. I'm staying inside. Keep myself inside.
Well, it depends on how you lose the fight.
Right. If it's an epic, legendary fight.
If it's a great scrap and, everybody's like, man, all right, cool. But if you got your ass, if you got mollywop, nah, man.
You don't get knocked out, then go to a football, basketball, baseball game the next day.
You don't come back till the school year starts.
Yeah. You go ahead and take your licks. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa.
Well, if you get your ass beat, you definitely need a day spa.
Whew, yeah. You're always welcome. A Brazilian woman has spent over $500 in order to get her teeth to look like walrus teeth.
Wait, what?
She spent
over $500 to try to get her teeth to look like walrus teeth?
Yeah.
Why?
She's one of those body modification people that their body's all tattooed. They have the tattooed eyes, the slit tongue, and now she got walrus teeth. Bring that home to mom. Introduce her to Donald.
No.
Introduce her to Donald Trump.
Not forget that, bro. There's no way she's I hope she has. There's no way she's giving me her brains,
Okay.
or
I'd like to see.
I don't want. She's not giving me smarts.
I'd like to see the logistics.
I would love to see the logistics of how you share your smarts with me.
Let's do some Mayor Day next.
I'm just saying. Think about it, bro. With two teeth,
I've been thinking about it.
like how?
Make it work. Make it fit. So that's our new one. Smarts. We're sharing our smarts.
Yeah,
She's sharing smarts.
She's sharing her smarts with me. I would love to see it.
This segment, I'm going to post it on YouTube just because it doesn't make sense, yet it makes all the sense in the world. It also would make sense if we don't come back after this break.
I'm just body modification. What do you want? But
Do your thing, girl.
walrus teeth, though, bro?
That's an expensive walrus teeth.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo, keep those brains to yourself. I don't even know what that is. Mayor Day next, 560 WQAM.
That's definitely a neg.
Ah. Then I've decided something.
What you decided? Because I got a great story right now.
I'm gonna send our boss Lynn a text, ask for a bonus this year for all the hard work we've done on the weekends, and with that $500, I am gonna possibly get walrus teeth. But I ain't sharing my brains with nobody.
Jeez. You can't you can't eat seafood with that either.
Oh, you can't.
That's
That's a lot of cleaning.
That's a lot of cleaning. You can't eat seafood with that.
What you got?
Shout out to that guy through 305 who's listening, and he said that he was the one that told us that the Pines was crazy at the Pines Twin Peaks that 560 WQAM visits during the football season with Hawk and Crowder every Monday night. I mean, every other Monday, I believe. Alternating Mondays, they go to Twin Peaks and recap the Dolphins game. But a guy from the 305, he said, yep, Pines, the place was happening last night. My 13-year-old picked it for the scenic views. He told our waitress he was looking for a stepmom and his dad is single.
Good
That
move.
is the best
Good
wingman
move.
ever.
Good.
Your son,
You raised
Mr.
him
305, you raised him right. You raised him. You're a good man, my friend. You are a good man. If your son at 13 years old knows how to be a good side guy, a good
First of all, you're
wingman.
taking him to the right place,
Oh, come on.
and he's helping you out. He's saying thank you. That's
Well-
how you thank people.
Well,
You help
I
them out.
love the way he described it. He said, my 13-year-old picked it for the scenic views. Now, I live in the Pines. I frequent the Twin Peaks at the Pines all the time. It's aesthetically beautiful. It's aesthetically pleasing. But views, the best views are the servers there. It's not.
Well, I didn't think it was the bar back.
Yeah, well, when I read it first, I was like, "Oh, the views." I'm like, "Oh, views." I was like,
No.
But
they're
then when
not
he
in
said
Sedona.
it, but then when he kept on going, I'm like, "Ah, I got it." Yes,
see
and he's
views.
13 years old, so he already knows. This is a great father, man. Great father. Good job. Good job, 305.
Good job by everybody. Good job by everybody on that.
And good job by your son.
Let's break it down with a little nay or day real quick. What we're going to go through, Vlad, let you know if it's a nay, that's a thumbs down, or a day, that's a thumbs up. Going to get things started with the X-Men, Xavier Howard, former Dolphins DB. Our guy, Joe Rose, you'll hear him asking the question.
Just breaking down all the top stories,
Are
man.
you going to be back? Is there a possibility you come home to the Dolphins? And X said to Joe's question.
Is X going to give it to you?
Coming back, obviously, at the right price. Could you see yourself still coming back and playing for the Dolphins, or have you kind of like, nah, it's probably time to move on?
That door is closed. I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. I did not hear that at all, though. But I know that door is closed, though.
Okay, Vlad, nay or day on that one?
I guess you got to say day. It's his choice, man.
Yeah.
I think it's a mutual. I think it's a mutual separation, and he got what he needed out of Miami, and Miami got what they needed out of him. So it's all right.
I give him a day because he's honest. He's not going to sit there and say, "Oh, you never know." He's like, "No, the door's closed. I'm not trying to be mean," and he wasn't being mean. He's just being honest. It's pretty much done. So that one right there is a day. Tyreek Hill, he's been in the news lately for better or for worse. Actually, lately it's been all for the worse. He tackled that woman football exhibition backyard. broke her
That's
leg,
crazy,
got
by the way.
sued.
That's crazy.
He also, I didn't think it was that bad, the things he said about Tua and their relationship and how Patrick Mahomes was more of a leader and Tua and them are working at that.
Nah, it was a little
relationship.
bit more. It was a little bit more. He was like, Pat's a friend. Like Pat wanted to hang out.
Tua doesn't want to hang out.
But here's the thing.
I think he's transitioned.
I want to shoot him some bail, but Patrick has small kids as well. So I wanted to say maybe because Tua he's a father now. He just had a baby.
That's just
Nah,
not
you
who
gotta,
Tua is.
you gotta
know-
take
we
once
know
a
who
week.
Tua
You gotta
is.
take your players out, man.
We know who Tua is. That's the way he is.
You gotta take your players out once a week.
And we saw him a little bit on Hard Knocks. He gets into it with the other quarterbacks in the quarterbacks room. Nonetheless, Tyreek Hill, I think Tyreek Hill's transitioning from boosting him up to now trying to make him better, that he is boosted up and he's kind of getting to his potential. Now, one thing, though, that Tyreek Hill did speak about with our dude Channing Crowder, LSU Ryan Clark, and Fred Taylor was about the whole the whole crazy marriage debacle issue with him. He kind of talked about marriage.
We don't have a tough 2024. Me and my wife. Like I tell her that all the time. I say, look, we done had our house burnt down, in the news about a divorce. It's like, damn, 2024 ain't going how it's supposed to be going.
You're getting divorced, and it's very public. People now looking at you, looking at her. How do two people deal with it?
Just communication, just having open communication. You know, sometimes we all know in relationships there's gonna be agreements and disagreements, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, I made it to where in our household that there are gonna be certain situations where she is always right and well, not right, but I would say she is making like full decisions, and sometimes it's gonna be me making decisions. And when we come together, we got to be able to, you know, agree to disagree. So we just try to live by that, man. Like, nobody's right. We always got to have open communication, even when it's tough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, we had conversations about a post-nup, and that was really where it all spiraled from, like a divorce or whatever. I don't like saying that word, but that's really where it all spiraled from. Like, and that, all I'm gonna say is, get weird is when you tell people outside your family.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Vlad. Nair Day. Oh man.
Day.
It's true, man. Marriages, relationships, they're crazy. But yeah, keep it in the house, man. You can't be letting out the house too much. And it just got out of the house. That's how it happens.
But he wanted a post-nup?
He wanted a post-nup. That ain't gonna happen, bro. Sorry.
Nah, she ain't gonna take no post-nup.
No one would. No one in their right mind would take a post-nup.
Post-nup.
Nup.
Yeah.
You know, okay, you know, now that we're getting divorced, I don't want all that's coming to me. I'll no, that's not happening.
That's not happening.
Let's get on to something that I know you probably are going to give a big day to. Damian Woody talked about what to expect from the New York Jets next season.
Actually left-handed. He made it easy with only his left hand.
On one hand, it's so helpful to find the right coverage.
Doing a good job
with
lately.
Geico.
Did you just record the commercial?
I do a lot of things at 4 a.m. when I'm getting into the radio station. No worries. It's no big deal. Damian Woody basically saying that the Jets are contenders if they stay healthy next year. Let's move on. Let's see if we can get to another commercial for Geico or UFC 299. As Anthony Davis recently spoke, remember last year, the Lakers play-in made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals. As we know, the Miami Heat play-in made it all the way to the NBA Finals. Anthony Davis this year just said, we just want to be a part of the tournament.
Getting in, behind the eight ball a little bit, but we're right there, So, in the event we don't get top six, you got to go through the whole play-in kind of process again. We don't really care what, CBN. We've proven that last year. It doesn't matter. I think this goes like anyone. You just try to get in, and then playoffs is a different animal.
Nair Day on that one, Vlad. Playoffs just a different animal. Just get in.
Yeah. Just get to the dance.
I get it. Yeah. I mean, look what happened last year. That's a thumbs up right there. We've always said, you've already said, especially the regular season doesn't matter that much. It's all about the playoffs. Anthony Davis kind of backing you up on that. I think the regular season counts a little more than people want to give it credit for.
Doesn't, bro. It only to the point. You know why I know it doesn't matter? That's why they try to implement the 65 games, or you can't be involved in any awards.
Okay.
Or for the MVP
regular
awards
season
or
does
like
count
that.
for something, though. Who was the number one seed in the West last year?
Who was the number one
Denver
seed?
Nuggets.
Was it Denver?
Who won the whole thing?
Well, Denver, but I mean, they were good.
Regular season. But yes,
doesn't mean anything.
Wily veteran teams like that, get in, figure out a way, they'll be fine. All right, let's see Damian Woody. Maybe he's selling some ice cream. Maybe he's talking about the Jets. Damian Woody, do you think the Jets have a chance to make some noise next season?
With as is the case with most things, the pendulum just swings much too far. A year ago, when the Jets got Aaron Rodgers, they're winning the Super Bowl and that's it. Now he gets hurt and they're terrible. They're not even worth talking about. But that's not the case either. Yeah. D-Wood, if they do get a little better offensive line and they do get maybe one more skill position player, this is a team that won 7 games last year with that defense and no quarterback play at all. If Rodgers is 50% of what he once was, is this a playoff team?
Absolutely. Like, let's not get it twisted. The Jets have a lot of talented players on this roster. Yes. Do they have holes on the offensive line? Absolutely. Do they need another wide receiver to complement Garrett Wilson? Absolutely. But this is not a team that doesn't have talent. They have one of the best defenses in the National Football League. They have Breece Hall at running back, who's one of the best running backs that we have in the National Football League. Garrett Wilson. They have talent. They just got to address a couple things. Off and running.
The problem is every single word the two of you guys just said, you said exactly word for word a year ago. Right. And so, and what happened? Obviously, it fell apart to an extent that we could not possibly have foreseen, but it underlines the fact that Aaron Rodgers, 40 years old, is a risk. Like the fact of the matter is he could get hurt again. So that's the risk the Jets have decided to take because the upside they think is so high.
And they have no choice.
But it's the same as last year.
Well, they pushed their chips all the way in.
Oh, it's way worse than last year.
Yeah.
It was way better last year.
They lost the year.
But I'm just saying, people talk about them like they're going to be 3-14.
There you go, Vlad.
Yeah. Okay.
Are you a little worried about? I mean, you're a little
No.
worried, but it doesn't. His age, Aaron Rodgers' age doesn't. His game does. It seems to kind of be like Tom Brady. It age is.
I'm not. Yeah. It's here's how I look at it. Right. With Brady retiring, they don't really have that last quarterback from the old era to talk about. And because Aaron is such, Aaron has his thoughts, he has his ways, he's stuck in his ways and his beliefs that it's easy for them to talk about him. Think about it. If he leaves, when Aaron retires, the old guard is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Stafford's probably the last one, and Stafford's not as vocal or newsworthy as Aaron is. So that's basically what they're doing. So Aaron is in New York. So Aaron was already Green Bay. They were talking about him. Now he's in the biggest market. They're going to talk about him even more. And the fact of how last year happened. I don't know what to expect from Aaron Rodgers because I only saw him for 4 plays.
Yeah.
So if I go by previously, then I think, we're going to be great. But who knows with the injury? So, yeah.
I agree with the
It's
fact
day.
that
It's day to me.
They're still going to. I agree with the fact that they still are going to win some games. I mean,
They won 7 games
Yeah.
last year. So if you think Aaron Rodgers is that, he's at least good for 2 to 3 more wins.
and they got a good defense. Got a very good defense.
That's always there. So, yeah.
Last but not least, something that I got fired up about. I'll tell
What
you
you got
whether
fired
it's
up for?
whether it's a nay or a day after you hear it. Louisville ladies head coach Jeff Walls, they lost to Notre Dame. He was very upset about the turnovers, but he may have an idea on how to curb at least his team's turnovers.
See, this is where NIL could really improve our game. Because, see, if I could find, like, say, $500 a turnover, I guarantee you we wouldn't turn that damn thing over one time. They'd care. But, see, there's, they get all this good stuff. It's all great. But, like, let's make it pay for play. The game will get cleaned up, I promise you. Our game will get better. If you pay for play it will get better. Because that's really what it is. We just can't find them. Because as a player, would you not care more, Jada, if I said, hey, every turnover, baby, it's $500. Well, you're out $2,000 tonight. It's
a lot of money, yeah.
I mean, we make money as coaches. Our athletic department would make money off our players. Our NIL would come back to the school. But they'd start changing. And they have to care. I mean, that's where we are right now, that we've got to care. The ball has to matter.
Vlad, nay or day?
I'm all day with that.
Really?
Yeah, because you know what? Just like this. They're getting paid to play. They're getting paid to work. What happens if we mess up at work?
You do not get fined money.
But what happens if you get at work? You might not get a shift. You might not.
Okay.
Accountability. I get it. Accountability has to be. Trust me, if somebody knows that they had to give up money, some NIL money, they will play so well and limit any type of mistake. They'll get on the other players for trying to make a mistake. It's not going to happen, but I'm not upset with that thought.
Number 100% nay on that. Number one, these players aren't trying to turn the ball over. They aren't trying to lose. They're trying to do their best.
They're being lazy.
What?
They're being lazy with the ball.
Being lazy with the ball. So just make them scared and punish them. By the way, Jeff Walls, we'll pay you for wins. We'll fine you for losses. How about that? You want to play that game? Let's do that, because what's good for the goose is good for the gander. How about that, Jeff? Is that cool with you? Because that's what you're implementing right now. You lose a game, Doesn't matter. Oh, well, the players didn't play good. You didn't coach them up enough. Fine. So is he willing to enter a contract where he could possibly make money for wins and get fined for losses? That's fair, right, Vlad? I'm sure Jeff Walls would change his mind real quick. Well, there's more that goes into it than that. There's more than goes into it than turning the ball over in a game. There's practices, there's work, there's plays, there's other players on the court that are doing things. That is one of the dumbest comments I have heard in a while. Fires me up, taking the power out of the player's hand and demonizing them, basically, making it sound like they want to make mistakes and that they want to lose, and that if you financially fine them, it would change everything.
He knows his team.
I know, and I got mad at Rick Pitino for the way he called out his players.
Right.
I still think he was wrong.
But he was right.
No, the result doesn't always mean that you did the right thing.
Yeah, no. The result, no. If the result happens to the way you wanted it to happen, it was the right thing for you.
I still don't believe in calling out players by name. I still don't believe in telling your team this is the most unenjoyable experience in my coaching career.
Well, if I told them that and they still playing bad, I'm going to tell this to the world. Why should he hide? Why should he hide how he feels?
I'm just saying, as a player, I'd be like, I'm out of here. Same thing with this guy, Jeff Walls.
You
want to
weren't
be
out
like
of here.
that?
They weren't. They played well.
It's just weird. It seems like it's a double standard there. You make a mistake in the game, we fine you automatically. But I guarantee if he loses the game, he ain't not accepting a paycheck. He's going to say whatever he can to get paid. And he gets paid up front in the year, not for wins and losses. So if that's what he's implementing, then that's what we need to do.
Well, if I tell you what to do and you do the opposite, you're not doing what I'm telling you to do.
I'm the athletic director. Win every single basketball game.
Okay, cool. Hey, players, we got to win every single basketball game. Because if you don't, I get fired and you lose scholarships.
No, you get fined for every loss.
And you lose,
if they don't play well, they lose their scholarship. They lose out on NIL money. Isn't that enough?
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
Okay. So anytime we make mistakes, you could be fined, whether you meant to or not, whether you're doing the best you can.
Are they doing the best they can?
I think they are.
Come on, don't tell me that because you haven't watched the game.
I've never known a player in my life, even on the playground, to purposefully turn the ball over in a competitive game.
Oh,
no. Now you played basketball,
Coach,
Vlad. Did you mean to do what you did?
Players and coach.
When you played the Kaseya Center and the mistakes you made, did you mean to do that? Should you have been fined for it?
I should have been fined. I should have been fined for stepping on the court without any practice. I should have been fined. But yes, I would have fined myself. They should have fined me. But nah. He knows his team. That's what I'm saying. If he knows his team, he hears what they're saying. He knows their attitudes. He knows what's going on. Because look,
you heard the player too.
Yeah, you heard the player, right?
That's a lot of money. Like,
yeah,
I'm not.
That player realized it was like, oh, wait a minute, he's really. Yeah, like okay, yeah, let's stop slacking up. It's just like a kid. When your kid was at when children act up, you take away something from them, they stop acting up, right?
Not always.
But most of the time they do.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
No, then you got to spank them.
If
But
your
he
kid
can't
makes
spank
an
those
honest
girls.
mistake, if your kid makes an honest mistake, do you spank them?
Honest mistake, no. But if they continue doing the same honest mistake, yes.
Tough on those kids, Vlad.
Hey man, you got to. Life is tough.
Might be a new era in college basketball. Hey, my thing is this: if you do it to the players, you do it to the coaches, you do it to the athletic trainers, you do it to everybody. If that's the case, then bring on the new era. Up next, gonna do a little something or nothing here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
Oh.
Baby. Time. Something or nothing. Real quick, Vlad. You're going to decide whether it's something or nothing. Eagles, defensive tackle, Fletcher Cox, 6-time Pro Bowler, announced he's retiring. Something or nothing.
That's something.
Jason Kelsey and Fletcher Cox.
Yeah,
now,
that old
both
guard.
sides.
That's those I think are the two last remaining players from the Super Bowl championship team, 2017 or 18. One of them not too long ago. Good career, great career. But it's nothing. It's nothing.
We'll see how the Eagles do this year. Remember, they just collapsed after a 10-1 start this past season. Could there be smoke and fire in the same place, or is it just one of those things just kind of went south? We'll have to wait and see. We saw Iowa and Caitlin Clark defeat Ohio State in overtime just a couple of minutes ago to win the Big Ten postseason championship tournament. Caitlin Clark, she's listed as one of the 15 finalists for the John Wooden Award. Is that something or nothing?
John Wooden Award. It's nothing because she's one of the best players. So of course she's gonna be nominated. That's nothing.
She's gonna win it.
I don't see anybody that's going to beat her.
I mean, she's breaking records, man. She's breaking a lot of records.
That's all she's doing.
She's the face of women's college basketball, if not the face of women's basketball, I would say. So yeah, it's pretty certain. Michael Jackson's estate and his mom, Katherine Jackson, they're clashing in court over $600 million catalog deal.
Oh, that's something. That's something. Wait. Mama Jackson,
she want that money.
Is going to court.
They're battling out the estate and Mama Jackson in court, $600 million over the catalog.
Okay.
That's a catalog right there, too. I still play Michael Jackson music like at trivia and when I DJ, and still gets a lot of love, man, from all types of people, too. All types. A mom, she was recently on a plane. You've sat on a plane, you're on the tarmac, whatever. It's a little hot in the cabin. What do you do usually? Turn that little knob, get a little air. No. She flipped the hatch and jumped out on the wing of the plane because she said it was too hot.
Hey, that is something crazy. What is wrong with her? And she's a mother?
Yes, sir.
Yo, that's wild. What's wrong with this lady?
It's probably a federal offense too. I'm just throwing it
You
out
think?
there. I don't know for sure. Just saying.
You think?
Be careful on planes. I don't even play around on planes. Like I was coming back from Phoenix and some guy was joking about something and it was to me a little too close for comfort. He was like joking about his friend. He's like, he's bothering me. This man's bothering me. And I know he was joking and I was on Spirit too. So that kind of but you got to be careful saying crazy things on planes, even if it is Spirit. Those Spirits,
you mean
flight attendants,
cheap flights?
Yeah. Those Spirit flight attendants, sometimes I don't know if they're flight attendants or hype men working at a club. Like, who's ready for a I'm not even joking. Who's ready for a 4-hour flight? I'm like, what the hell is going on here? What did you do in your life to get crammed into this plane for 4.5 hours? I was like, I what? You don't want to miss this hot deal we got going now. We're going to be around with a drink cart. Get your drink on. I'm like, where am I? Nonetheless, last but not least, Vlad, some people are arguing. Now, I want to see how you feel about this. The term bucket list did not exist before 2007 when the movie Bucket List
BS
was released.
That's BS.
That's a lie, right?
That's such a nay that
I thought I've heard bucket list my whole life.
That's crazy. I don't understand. That just bothered me. For somebody to say that? No, I haven't. But these damn young kids. Shut up, young kids. Shut up.
I think I've heard bucket list a lot before the movie.
Bro,
plus, where did they get the term from?
I
for
think
the movie?
I heard bucket list before I heard the word larynx. Okay, and understand this. A lot of big words that I heard when I was young was because of wrestling or sports.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tell you, I never knew what a larynx was until Ricky Steamboat got his larynx crushed by Macho Man with the ring bell. Esophagus, never knew what that was. MCLs, AC, don't know it. Didn't know what they were. Anterior crucial ligament. I didn't know a ligament was crucial till sports.
Yes,
so
sir.
therefore, for somebody to say the term bucket list did not come out until what year?
The movie Bucket List was released in 2007.
So what? So the person who wrote the bucket list in 2007
they invented the
just
term.
Created a term?
Yeah, for the movie.
Man.
Yep. That's what they're saying. They said there's no evidence that bucket list existed as a term before that movie.
I wish I had some Johnson & Johnson baby powder right now so I could slap the crap out of somebody.
Didn't mean to work you up that much.
That is ridiculous.
I don't believe
Who
it.
said that? Now I need to know who said that.
I got the text right now. I can give you the guy's name.
Who is it? And how old is this person so I could, you know what? How old he is the punches he gets.
We got Jake and Bender. I don't exactly know who he is, but
clearly he's on a bender.
At jakeandbender.com, ANBINDER. He says bucket list was invented in 2007 by the writers of a very forgettable movie. I'm just saying, there's people out there. People out there. It's only isn't even 20 years old. It comes from Kick the Bucket, and I've heard about bucket.
He's 20 years old.
I don't know how old he is. I don't know. I'm not trying to hurt or hate Jake. American historian.
Oh, he's an historian.
He works at Cornell.
And?
Or at least he says he works at Cornell.
And?
I'm just saying, man.
Cornell.
He's got a website, jacobandbender.com. Let's see what this website. I mean, he's a historian, modern United States. Harvard University in 23, so he's young. Yeah.
He stinks.
I wonder how Harvard and Yale feel about that. He's at Cornell currently. Graduate student.
Yo, Sergey says, pretty sad that I get my education from wrestling.
Well, that is true too. All right, Vlad, are you coming back for the last hour, or you got to?
No, I'm here for another hour. I'm not here for the last
45 minutes.
15.
Okay. We got another hour and 45 minutes to go. Let's roll, man. We're gonna take a break. Come back after this on 560 WQAM.
It's time for Sports Day. Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
Get you ready for the Heat and the Wizards. That is going to be a 6 o'clock tip here on 560 WQAM. Vlad and I are going to go an extra 45 minutes today, lead you up to preheat with Alejandro Solana at 4:45. To get you ready for that Heat Wizards game, Bally Sports on TV is showing a G League game against our very own, I guess you'd call them, the Sioux Falls Skyforce. That is the Heat's affiliate, and Salt Lake City's affiliate team. And as we were watching, it looked like there was a glitch in the Matrix, Vlad. What was
it wasn't a
going on?
glitch. It wasn't a glitch.
It looked like a guy who used to be a candidate for MVP
Yeah.
playing in a G League game.
And was supposed to make a lot of money, and his team just threw him out there even though he was hurt. He wanted to show how much of a player he was as a team player. And he has not been the same player ever since. He had a stint in Cleveland. He was traded for a all-star, but his time in Cleveland didn't work. He was also traded to Los Angeles, and it didn't work. And now see him right now in Salt Lake City. I don't want to say how the mighty have fallen, but
the Salt Lake City Stars.
Seeing Isaiah Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas is playing
For the
starting
for the Salt Lake City Stars.
G League team.
It's
we're playing the Skyforce right now.
Yeah.
Sioux Falls Skyforce, which is, of course,
the Miami's what is it, G League team?
Yes, they're the G League team. Okay, so not that you're confused, because you probably do understand where we're going. This is not NBA legend, Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas. This is the Isaiah Thomas that played for the Celtics, was kind of like an MVP candidate for one season. I mean, he was gangbusters. His sister, unfortunately, did die in a car accident during that season, but just kept balling out. He played at the University of Washington. He is now playing in the G League. That looks weird. He looks the same. That is weird, Vlad. That is weird. You hear these guys,
it was strange.
You hear these guys going to China, getting a bag, even towards the end of their career or when their career is over, but to go to the G League, there he is. Yeah, he looks like Isaiah Thomas.
No, it doesn't. He is Isaiah Thomas.
I mean, I'm saying, but I mean, like, it doesn't look like a shell of himself either. He looks like he been back in his playing days. Man, that is just weird. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what to say to that, Vlad. I was going to say kudos to him if he doesn't care, but can't go to Argentina or China or anywhere else to play. You go to the G League. What's going on with that?
And they love the game, bro. They just love the game.
You can't go to the Big Three. You can't do anything like that.
Nah, he would kill in the Big Three.
So he's too good for the Big Three.
But he still thinks he can play.
But so he's still trying to make an active roster. I mean, obviously,
how old is he right now? Do you have his age?
I got to look it up.
I don't know. I'll look it up.
I mean, I got to look up the different Isaiah Thomas.
We're talking about Isaiah Thomas that played for the Boston Celtics, not the two-time defending champ.
No,
I mean, not defending, the
not
two-time
Hall of
champ,
Famer.
Hall of Famer.
That would be a huge step down.
No,
he's also old as hell.
No. That would be crazy if he's playing in the G League and he's busting ass at like 67.
Yeah. Isaiah Thomas, man.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas is 35. He's born in 89. He just turned 35.
His lifetime in the NBA career, 17.7 points per game. So wonder what he's doing in the old G League. I'm not looking.
He hasn't been in the league in 2 years.
I'm not looking that stat up. How he's doing.
He
in the
played 4 games with the Lakers in 21-22 season, and then he was moved to Charlotte in the 21-22 season. He played 17 games.
He scored 32 the other night in the G League. I see that. Okay, so now I don't think anybody was, but if you were wondering at the beginning of the day, where is the younger Isaiah Thomas at? Now you know he's playing in Salt Lake City, not for the Jazz, for their G League affiliate, the Stars.
35 at that size, man. Yeah, I don't think he's getting a call.
Yeah, he go ahead and not make that call.
Yeah, he's not gonna get that call. If he gets a call, it's probably gonna be towards the end of the season. But I can't knock a guy for 11 a game.
If it's all you know and it's what you love, you're out there doing your thing. That's
Yeah.
okay.
I just think I when I think about Isaiah, I always remember that he was gonna get a big bag and he got hurt.
Yep, that's true. Yeah.
He got hurt, and instead of getting surgery, he wanted to win a title for that team, and be considered among the legends in Boston Celtics history. And it didn't work out that way.
As we say, no good deed goes unpunished. Ooh. That's why when you get mad at these players for looking out for themselves, I kind of say, man, I don't understand that, Vlad. And I think you and I have talked about this before. When people are like, that's just selfish of that player. It's like, well, when at work, don't you look out for yourself? Well, yeah, that's my job. I got to look out for me. It's like, well, then a player is doing the exact same thing.
Right?
Why is it different? Well, they get paid millions of dollars and I don't. It doesn't matter about the money you get paid.
I don't know if we voice it or we don't, but subconsciously, I think we all are. We are jealous of these players and these athletes. Subconsciously, we are. I think we are, because they're doing the things that we love that we can't do, and we have this thought that if it was me, I would do it better. You know what I mean? Like, oh, if I had the opportunity, and it's like, well, you actually did, but your skill or your talent level wasn't up to par. So therefore, that's why they were able to advance. We would love to be able to do what they do, but we can't.
Nope.
So we just need to be a fan. Now, as a fan, you have a right to criticize and say stuff to the players, say stuff that you don't like. Yes, that's what a fan does. But in all reality, let's just pipe down and just let these players do what they do.
Yeah.
And, and talk about the result of what they do. Let's not talk about what they are or who they are. And I feel like I said, when we're talking about Isaiah Thomas, I feel bad for him because it's the business of the NBA got him.
Yeah.
It wasn't his level. It wasn't talent. It wasn't somebody else. It was the business of the NBA that got him. And so for people to talk about, we can't talk like we're saying this because we know the great player he was. He was an all-star. He was supposed to be at remember the Brink truck's gonna be coming to my house.
5'9",
That's why.
likable story.
Right. And of course, and if you're short, everybody loves you because everybody feels like, oh, it's so relatable. But
yeah. Man, that's tough, man.
35, you're not making the roster.
5'9", 35. Yeah, it's tough. Oh,
But
man.
nobody can say you didn't make it in the league and you didn't bust ass. Like, you didn't get buckets. You did.
You were there.
You were that guy.
Like, he was in the MVP.
He was in the MVP
that
conversation.
1 year when
he led them to the Eastern Conference Finals. And that was a tough one. Remember, his sister passed away during the postseason.
He got a car accident, right? and died.
Right. And he went
Kept
to the
playing.
funeral and came back.
Got a tooth knocked out one game, kept playing.
Like, that's the thing. And then when you see it, and then it's like, all right, I did all of this for you. And then it's like, yeah, we're happy that you did that, but we got to let you go. It's like,
it's business, man. Don't ever get it twisted.
So you see, this is what this is the hypocrisy I hate, Cousin. When that happens, like what happened to Isaiah, it's the business, right? But when the players realize the business and want to,
they're totally wrong.
They want to make business decisions for themselves.
Totally wrong. Totally wrong.
That's just hypocrisy, bro.
Totally wrong for them. Totally wrong. I never got that. I never got why people get into that. Like, it's okay for the organization that profits off these players to make business decisions. But when players make business decisions, it's selfish and it's mean. And then when I point out, have you ever taken a pay cut at your job? Do you not look out for number one at your job? I always get, well, that's different. Why? Because it's you? No. Players are looking out because no one else is looking out for them. And as much as you want them to play for free and always be with your team as long as you want them, it's not how it works. That's the way I am. That's the way I'm going to be. Let's talk about stars and headlines. Tyler Hero, Kevin Love, they're both out tonight for the Miami Heat as they face the Wizards at 6 o'clock. Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, questionable for Inter Miami's game against Montreal coming up at 5 o'clock. We talked to Phil Shane, play-by-play for Inter Miami. He says they're questionable. Also, there's a question that they might play 60 minutes or 90 minutes tonight. So, that's how soccer is.
Jeez.
Don't know if I can make it out there. 98 minutes later, done. Good to go. Dolphins, they are working out deals to bring back cornerback Nick Needham and Elijah Campbell. Details have not been disclosed. The Panthers, no doubt, blew out the Flames 5-1. They got a big one. Dallas Stars, Tuesday, 8 o'clock. The Marlins and the Astros, they're playing a spring training game up in Jupiter. I'm not going to give you the score because
I don't give a.
It does not matter. Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, 2 words.
3.
No, it's 2.
No, it's 3.
They got a space in his last name?
Max Verstappen, isn't it? It's not a space. I always thought it was a space. You know what? You're right. It is 2 words. I thought it was VER-Stappen, but you're right. It's Verstappen.
That's the funniest thing. Because he's the Michael Jordan of F1 racing right now.
Whoa. Right now. Okay.
Right now, not of all time.
Yeah,
but
we
he
all know
could be
that.
in front of you in line at Publix.
I wouldn't know
no
who the hell
way
he
you
is.
know who he is. I mean, I know now because I'm looking at it, but yeah, a guy could be in line in front of you in Publix. And
Would
you'd be
not
like,
know who he is.
Excuse me, sir. You dropped something. And he'd be like, oh, thank you very
word?
much. Oh, Max Verstappen. Gotta love him. Oh, man.
Why did I think his name was Verton and Stappen? I don't know.
I mean, it's just one of those things.
It happens.
UFC 299 took place in Miami last night, sold out. Kaseya Center. Sean O'Malley defeated Marlon Vera by unanimous decision. It's unanimous, though, right now. Let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. A woman, she told her roommate what she planned on naming her baby. Her roommate said that it was a stupid name. Now that woman wants to get out of the house, does not want to live.
Wait, what's the
with
name
her.
of the baby again?
Now I'm going to give this. She wants to name her Arya after Arya Stark from Game of Thrones.
I don't think that's a bad name.
I don't think it's a bad name. Maybe she's not
I
a fan
actually
of
like
Game of
that
Thrones.
name.
She's not
Why
a fan of
not?
Game of Thrones. Maybe
Who's not a fan of
the roommate that said it's stupid? Maybe I don't know.
After roommate, it ain't her kid.
My thing is name. We had a woman the other day
That's
that
a
wanted to name her
beautiful name,
wanted to
man.
name her baby Chlamydia. You can name your kid whatever you want. I mean, sometimes you got to use your better judgment. But
Okay.
hey, that's your choice.
All right. Let's have a pause.
What?
Aria or chlamydia?
Yeah, that's 2 different animals. That's just apples and oranges right there, man. Apples and oranges. Nonetheless, I don't have a problem with people naming their kids what they want. That's their business. I mean,
I was thinking about naming my child, if I had 2 daughters, Indica and Sativa.
okay, that's shows you where your love is with your daughters. Obviously,
I love my daughters
You
like I
gotta
love
love
my
your
weed. I love my daughters like I love my weed.
that's the perfect ending to that segment right there. Happy endings for everyone. Up next, Dolphins. People are talking about a certain superstar possibly on the free agency market coming to MIA.
Let me be a
I
owl.
don't think it's a good idea.
Let me be
I
a
don't think it's
FAU
a good
owl.
idea.
Who? Who?
We'll discuss who next. 560 WQAM. It is about to be the wild, wild west. There's going to be some NFL action tomorrow as free agency, for lack of a better term, just basically opens up. Christian Wilkins on the top of everyone's mind, not just here in South Florida. It seems like the Minnesota Vikings really want him. The Giants are looking at him. A lot of teams, supposedly 8 teams, the Browns, the Texans, all looking at Christian Wilkins because he is technically a free agent. And we know that he is probably the best available defensive tackle on the free agent market. One of the top free agents available as for now. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Maybe the Dolphins will make sure and consummate their relationship a little bit further or not. I think the Dolphins will. Some people are saying, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Another big-time free agent that a lot of people have been wondering about is Derrick Henry. There's rumors all over the place where Derrick Henry could be going. Dallas Cowboys seem like one of them, but there has been some rumors that the Miami Dolphins could make a play for Derrick Henry. I am here to tell you, I don't think that's a good move for the Miami Dolphins. Not one bit. I think Derrick Henry is going to be expensive. Great player. He's 30 years old. He's had some injury issues later. I just don't know if it's worth the money. And you look back, last year, the running backs room was very strong with the Miami Dolphins. Now, I know you're kind of doing the same thing. Raheem Mostert, he's 31 years old. He's a little bit older, but had a career year. Pro Bowl year. He made so many great things happen. Had over 1,000 yards rushing, 4.8 yards per rush, 18 touchdowns on the ground. It was just an unbelievable year for Raheem Mostert. Devon Achane, looks like the future is very bright. Yeah, he had a few injuries here and there. He had 800 yards rushing, averaged 7.8 yards per carry, 8 touchdowns. Great year. And that's just the tip of the iceberg from the running back room. Seems like Mike McDaniel has this type of system that kind of gets the running backs going, gets them in the right spot, kind of tailors it towards what they do best. In fact, Devon Achane was so good that they had to take him off special teams. But yet, people are saying it's not enough. We need to go after Derrick Henry. I just don't see the necessity to go after Derrick Henry and spend what's going to be probably a lot of money for a 30-year-old running back with some tread on the tires who can hurt you. You make a career decision whenever you go to tackle Derrick Henry. At the same time, with the stable of running backs we've gotten, I think we're good. Another thing is, what if you do pay Derrick Henry all this money, and next thing you know, Derrick Henry gets hurt? Not, fourth play of the game, fourth play of the season. Then all of a sudden you spend all this money on this guy who now isn't going to be producing that much, and you're still going to rely on the stable of running backs that you're most likely going to have. So to me, the talk about Derrick Henry is just talk. It's just fodder. It's nothing that you really want to do. Jeff Wilson Jr., I thought, was serviceable and good. I like the stable of running backs.
Yeah, but come on now.
It's going to cost some money, man. That's a lot of money.
Everything in life is going to cost.
But do you get the return on your investment, do you feel?
You need a running back for December and
you had a great running back.
Yeah, but they were not December, January, cold weather. You need a guy that could take a lot off Tua and that passing game. If you give it, tell me you didn't need a Derrick Henry going against Kansas City?
Well, you can always use Derrick Henry. You can always use
that type of
Barkley.
That type of back. Forget the player. I'm talking about the type of player, not the name of the player, but the type of player. I think you need a more physical running back.
You need a more physical running back. And at what price, though? At what age, though? I worry about things like that. He's 30 years old. He's got some.
Yeah, but you're not signing him to a 4-year deal.
Yeah, but he's gonna get paid, man. He's not.
Yeah. So then, okay. Here's the question. Here's the question. If you know he's gonna get paid and you need that type of player, would you rather him go to another team that can?
I'm happy with the stable we have.
They're not it. They're not it.
They can receive. They can run. They had
and they're also and they're banged up all the time.
Derrick Henry's been banged up at times. Saquon Barkley's been banged up at times.
Derrick Henry's not banged up like the way the Mostert. And Mostert's over. We're talking about a guy who had a career year, and was he 31, 32?
31 years old, yes.
Yeah.
You got age for age. So you're trading age for age. Devon Achane,
I will take the guy that's been the top 6 of the last 7 years in rushing yards. I'll take that guy. And the reason why he wasn't number 1 or number 2 that one year was because he got banged up and he missed the rest of the year.
Everybody gets hurt.
But Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry.
I mean, but with your back up against the wall and the money that you have or you don't have, is there any way you could possibly even get Derrick Henry and keep Christian Wilkins? I don't think that's a possibility.
No,
so your priority becomes Christian
like I
Wilkins.
said, the situation with the Dolphins that's messed up is that fact that they're going to get a lot of cap release, but it won't happen till June 1st.
Right, because of Xavier Howard.
Right. So then, therefore, once tomorrow starts, all the top free agents will be gone by when June 1st comes.
We've seen free agents though hold out, get offers. Last year it happened with us.
Who?
It happened with your guy for the Jets, the running back. His name escaping me real
Dalvin,
quick.
yeah,
Dalvin
running
Cook.
Right. Well, that position, yes, I believe it's gonna go. I believe Saquon and Derrick Henry will be signed quickly.
You think so?
Yes.
See, I would think this. If you're the Dolphins, go ahead, figure out your Christian Wilkins situation. Then once you figure that out, you can try to tell Derrick Henry, look, we like you. If you like us, maybe hang out. I mean, how much is the price going to change?
You don't necessarily. Okay, I think there's one running back that's going to be a game changer. I don't know if you really need him in Miami because you have kind of similar backs like that. But Eckler.
Yep,
from the Chargers.
Los Angeles.
I think he's going to be a free agent.
Yep. I mean, the running backs are.
It's going to be a lot of. Josh Jacobs is a free agent.
Josh Jacobs is a free agent.
So I think a lot of those big names will go immediately, but
isn't
the
the
second
league
level is
showing
going to be great as well. Like you said, after June 1st, maybe towards the going into camp, there's going to be running backs that won't be signed.
But isn't the market showing you and the league showing you that this big star running back is not as valuable as you're making them out to be? That maybe the stable or the guys.
But
Kansas City was fine with Isaiah Pacheco.
But they have 15.
Exactly, but still.
If you don't have 15, you don't have a player like that. You need a running back. Like the Bengals let Joe Mixon go. I mean, right? They're gonna realize, maybe we should have kept Joe Mixon. Like these were hypocrisy. When you don't have a good quarterback, but you have a good team and you're winning and you have a legit defense. What's the most important position in the offense is going to be the running back, because if you have a guy who could get the ball 20, 25 carries and get you over 100 yards, when you have an 8-man front, play action can help your quarterback out, you can win games.
Brings up another good question that now as you're talking, Vlad. Mike McDaniel supposedly
is a
running game is his thing.
And and remember, after the first season, he said, I look back at the film and everything that I did, and we're gonna run the ball more. And last year you were top 3 in running, but then what happened? Towards the end of the season, maybe because of the injuries, O-line, running backs, there were more passing plays towards the end of the season than I did see running plays, and that's the second year in a row he did the same thing towards the end of the year.
He keeps saying he's a running guy, and then he keeps not doing all these running guy things, like not getting a superstar running back. At the end of the season when it counts, getting away from the running game. It's interesting. He says one thing, then seems to do another. This would kind of solidify that you're a running guy if you go out there and get a Derrick Henry, or you get a Saquon Barkley, or you get a Josh Jacobs. But the Dolphins aren't going to do that.
You don't think the Dolphins are going to get one of these running backs?
No. Nope. You ride with what you got. You got a guy that was.
So you want to be
in the Pro Bowl.
You want us to be stuck in media. Who cares? Okay,
Devon Achane, 800 yards rushing.
Okay.
Almost 8 yards a carry. Explosive. One of the fastest guys in the league.
What happened towards the end of the year?
He's a rookie. You'll figure it out. That's all. I mean, but what I'm saying is that would be on coaching too, to get these guys in the right position. Raheem Mostert got a little nicked up. The only thing is this: you do worry if you put all your eggs in one basket and go out there and get an Austin Eckler, or you get a Derrick Henry, or you get a Saquon Barkley, and then what if they get hurt in the second game of the season and they're out for the rest of the year?
Well, that happens.
I know it does. It does. But what I'm saying is, you're putting all your eggs in one basket, and Vlad, you know how dangerous that can be. When you have a stable of running
backs. You're not
backs,
putting your eggs in one basket with the running backs, because you'll have Achane. I just think that the duo that fits Miami better would be Derrick Henry and Achane rather than Mostert and Achane. Achan's different. You got him
You
last
got him
year.
on a rookie.
You got him on a rookie. You saw his impact. You saw what he can provide, and he was banged up. He missed he missed half the season. So for 800 yards in only half a year, you're expecting at least 1,200 yards next year. But you put a big bruising back. You get a big bruising running back like Derrick Henry.
Thunder and lightning.
That's it. Because when you go to Buffalo, when you go to Orchard Park, when you go to Foxborough, you got to go to the Meadowlands, you got to go to Baltimore, you got to go to Kansas City. You know what I mean?
A year ago, it was Dalvin Cook's going to come and save the day. Didn't work out that way.
No, Dalvin went to New York. And,
when Aaron Rodgers got hurt, it seemed like he kind of gave up some of the gusto.
And he's also a little bit washed as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's the thing. We're taking it. We're possibly taking a flyer.
They
out
are
on
risk.
the
You're
older
gonna
running
take.
back.
They all are risk right now, bro. They all are risk. You just got to hope that it hits, and then
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, because something has to be done. Because what happened last season, as bad as it sounds, was not enough. It's not going to be enough this year at all, by any means. We need more. If you can find a way monetarily to get him, it's going to cost a lot. Derrick Henry, I don't see it happening, but who knows? I think you shore up Christian Wilkins, then you take care of something else like that. That's just the main way I look at it.
Next,
or do you go after this big name running back and hope Christian Wilkins is still around? I don't know.
I don't think you go after the running back immediately. I
That's
think
what
you
I
got to
think.
take care of Wilkins
I think
first.
you do that.
They have what tomorrow? Are they under the cap now?
No way.
So they have to get under the cap before that New Year starts.
Yeah.
So they have until Wednesday. So there might be some releases. There might be some renegotiation, some reworking of some contracts. You might have to add another year to a player that you might not have wanted to keep for another year because to get the money situated.
Right. You're going to have to move some things around.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to have every great player in the league on our team. That would be awesome. It's just not feasible.
Well, yeah, you and everybody else. There,
Let's try to get Christian Wilkins first. Derrick Henry tomorrow. I'm going to say tomorrow. Christian Wilkins first, Derrick Henry the next day. Please take a discount, Derrick Henry. We appreciate that. Come here to try to win one, man. Try to win one. Maybe not.
Maybe.
We'll see. Oh man, we'll see. The Heat, they got a game against the Wizards coming up in just a few minutes. 4:45 is when the preheat will start. Then the tip is going to be at 6:00. The Miami Heat, no Tyler Hero, no Kevin Love. Should we be worried about the Heat at all or not? We'll figure that out next here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
shows live or on demand. Plus, there's the cool Rewind feature where you can listen to any part of any show you might have missed anytime. Get it now and make WQAM your favorite station.
You know what beef is?
Before we get out of here, Vladimir, my cousin, he's got to go run, get that Inter Miami game ready. I'm going to be helping out with the Heat broadcast right here on 560 WQAM. He's going to be on 790 Radio Libre. Learned a lot. This is an exciting time for college basketball. I do pay a little extra attention to. I like college basketball, but this is the tournament championships.
But bro, I couldn't believe this is the first time I was actually watching the women's game. Like, this is their tournament. Let me watch. And they didn't disappoint. Like, they really didn't disappoint. That Tennessee South Carolina game, South Carolina is undefeated, and they were about to lose the first game of the season. And they inbounded the ball to a center who was only taking 1 3-point shot all year, and she hit it. She hit it.
Ways to win.
They find a way to win. Angel Reese last night leading LSU back to the SEC title game.
Mm-hmm.
She was great as always, and you saw Caitlin Clark this afternoon with leading Iowa over Ohio State in an overtime thriller, to be quite honest. So I'm not knocking it. There's more plays in the women's game than you do in the men's game. Like, I can't tell you who the best player in the men's game is. I can't.
Best player,
and I gamble all the time on the men's game.
We do know that the Miami Hurricanes, they will enter the ACC tournament Tuesday at 7 o'clock. They will play Boston College. They are a 15 seed against an 11 seed. A lot of people calling for them to lose just to mercifully end this not so fulfilling season. I hope they go on a win streak and go all the way. But
would we love that?
Be awesome.
Yes.
Great story. I feel good, man. Feel really good. We also learned that Isaiah Thomas, not the Hall of Famer, but the guy who played for the Celtics and a bunch of other teams, he's now with Salt Lake City.
You can watch right now. This
Not
is
the
a
Jazz, not the
Miami
Jazz.
Miami Heat doubleheader on
Not the
Sun
Jazz.
Sports.
Not the Jazz. He plays for Salt Lake City Stars. This is another thing. Is the thirst for basketball in Salt Lake City so insatiable that they have to have an NBA and a G League team?
The Mormons love basketball.
They must. I mean,
They love multiple ball. They like, they're Mormons, so they like more than one.
Okay.
They love more than one.
We got Isaiah Thomas playing in the G League. Okay, good for him. I mean, I guess whatever makes you happy. We've also discovered that I don't know. I really don't know, man. There's not been too much other than the craziness that has been on the regular show. We talked about people can name their kids whatever they want to do. They can do whatever they want to do. We learned that we're not going till 4:45 today.
Yeah, we just learned that we're not going to 4:45.
Where are you going, Vlad? Don't you have a couple of minutes? Are you going to go get something to eat?
I'm going to go get myself something to eat, probably herbal essence for a little bit, and then get ready for the 4:30 pregame show.
I'm going to stay hungry. I'm going to sit down here with Jimmy Menthols and just kind of get things going, kind of maybe do some post-show stuff for this. Going to get home tonight after the basketball game, maybe drink a couple of those Funky Buddha maple bacon coffee
The
porters.
Funky Buddha is great, man.
Might do that and catch.
I'm gonna crack one open after the show.
Nah, nice. I'm gonna stay sober and do what I got to do. No judgment. No, I'm not known for being the most straight edge guy in the world, but when I gotta wait till I get home so I can just
straight edge damn day.
Straight edge anything, nothing. No, so gonna go home, do that. See, I'm not gonna eat. I like to stay hungry. I like to drink on an empty stomach too. So it's an old skater punk thing. So it's the way I enjoy my drinking. So I like to be light for the Heat game. Then tomorrow I got to get up early. Got to be here at the radio station, do some things behind the scenes. It's going to be just one of those weeks. It's going to be weird, willy-nilly, because like we said, we know the Hurricanes are playing Tuesday, but if they win, then they're going to have to play Wednesday. We don't know what that's going to look like. We don't know all that. There's a lot of stuff up in the air. We do know that the Heat and Inter Miami play tonight. I know our hearts and our wallets probably both with the Heat and Inter Miami. Can't bet against Lionel Messi and the crew, and you can't bet against the Heat at home against the Wizards. You just can't do it. So our heart and our wallet are both with those teams. Vlad thinks the Heat blow out the Wizards. I think it's going to be a closer game than a lot of people expect it to be. I think the Wizards will at least put up a valiant effort, and then they're going to run out of gas, and the Heat are just going to finish things off with Jimmy and with Bam and with Duncan Robinson and with Jaime Jaquez Jr. I just figure as though they have enough firepower, enough gas in the tank to get by those guys. Inter Miami. Soccer's such a weird sport. It's hard to predict how the game is going to go. I can just predict that Miami's going to find ways to score, whether it be Lionel Messi, whether it be Luis Suarez, whether it be Leo Campana. Hopefully Drake Callender has a good day in the net.
I think they'll win. They'll win 3-0.
Yeah, I get a 3-1. I get a 3-1 right there. Leo gets a goal.
Suarez gets a goal.
You think Suarez gets a goal?
Yeah, and your boy Busquets.
Busquets gets a goal. I think Lionel Messi scores. Leo Campana scores.
Is this on television? By the way, is it on television?
No. The only reason they got that Nashville game on TV because it was a cup game and not an MLS game. Remember, you're on Messi TV.
Yeah,
you're on Messi Plus.
I gotta watch it on Messi Plus.
MLS games are Messi Plus only. Good thing Jimmy Mythos has a subscription, so we'll probably be keeping an eye on that during Heat.
Yes, sir.
So we'll be listening to the Heat game, but keeping an eye on the Inter Miami game, which is pretty nice. Of course, there's still time to get down to the Kaseya Center and still time to get down to Chase Stadium. So if you're on the way, turn up the radio or the app and please enjoy, because we got Phil Shane and Thomas Rungan on the call 790. And then, of course, right here, Alejandro Solana pregame, Tommy Tig pregame, Jason Jackson, Amy Audibert on the call postgame, Tommy Tig, and Alejandro Solana. You and I will be back next week, although kind of abbreviated versions of the show.
Yeah, we'll be on Saturday from 12 to 1:30 because we have an Inter Miami game beginning at 2. And on Sunday we'll be on from 12 to 2:30.
No, 1:45.
1:45. I'm sorry, because the
1:45?
Heat are playing a 3:00 game.
And then racing out to Duffy's and Plantation.
And
I'll
then-
be DJing St. Patrick's Day, and
and-
Lad will be drinking for St. Patrick's Day.
I'll be racing after the Inter Miami. Is it the Inter Miami game?
Inter
on-
Miami game. Yep.
It's on Sunday?
I think it is.
So what's going on Saturday?
No, I think Sunday it's straight up just it's just a Heat game.
Oh, then you know what? I'll join you.
We'll go together.
Yeah.
We'll be on the 1s and 2s. So
Why do I just confused myself. I'm like, wait, isn't Inter Miami playing Saturday or Sunday? And I'm like, oh, they're playing
I didn't
Saturday.
even know how many where we're going to today. So I'm in trouble there. Nonetheless, thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week. Of course, we'll be all over the radio over the next
You'll
couple of
hear
days.
us.
You know.
We're slaves. We work.
Turn up. This has been Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Later, fools.
WQAM on the Kendall Toyota text